What is up, ladies and gentlemen? A very warm welcome to all of you watching us online. Welcome to the Call of Duty Mobile BR World Invitational for the APAC region. This is Warren Super Johnny John. I'm going to be your host for the day as we jump into the celebrations that are about to begin for the second anniversary of Call of Duty Mobile's launch all around the world, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm not going to be alone over here. Joining me, please welcome. It is going to be two amazing people, Floki and Cribs. How are you guys doing? Floki, starting off with you, how do you feel about this event that is about to begin?
Absolutely pumped. $100,000 on the line. Such a big prize pool. Not something we've seen before. And by the way, a new map as well. So, yep, this is going to get very, very interesting. Those who play Call of Duty Black Ops 4 might recognize that map. But the rest of you, you're in for a new treat because we don't know what the meta is going to look like.
Exactly. And talking about treats, I mean, we've talked about maps, we've talked about the second anniversary. There were new skins that were released in the game as well that were really nice and tasty to look at. But, Crips, in this celebration, we're going to have teams from India and teams from Japan joining us. And it is going to be both these regions together in the Asia Pacific that are going to be participating in this event. And talking about the teams, we're going to have a look at the players right now. So, Cribs, I want to ask you first, are there any key individuals that you are going to look out for?
Yep, definitely. All the people you see in teams 5, 6, 7, and 8 have proven themselves in the Call of Duty competitive circuit time and time again. Moonscope is recognized as one of the best snipers in India, plays for Team Vitality.
Yep.
His teammate Monk, who is his teammate in real life, is in Team 6. But today they're in different teams and they're teamed up with Rebel and Mafia. So this is kind of like friends turned rival sort of situation.
Yeah.
And now they do know each other's playstyles, but now that they're against each other, I kind of want to see what they have in store for us. I can say the same for Neutrino and Learn. Both of them play for Team INT. But today they're paired up with Mavi and Thug instead. And these teammates are kind of turning into rivals for the day. And that kind of spices things up.
Exactly. It's going to be fun to watch, though, because when your teammate is someone you're up against, you know how they think. So I want to see those outplays happen. But these are the first 8 teams, ladies and gentlemen. We have more people joining us today in this celebration. And here are the next 8. We have Vegas and Snacks, Carnage, Soul Viper. And then we also have, as I mentioned before, players joining us all the way from Japan. It's going to be super exciting to see these lads as well. So, Floki, I want to ask you now, any key individuals from the next 8 teams that you think are going to be walking away with a lot of cash in their pockets?
I mean, hey, Kali has been dubbed as one of the best Call of Duty mobile players out there, so no doubt about that. This guy is, someone that everyone's going to keep an eye on and maybe someone, even try to target. And it's going to come down to Kali to maybe try and defend his place and just try and work with his duo partner IQ to try and make sure that he doesn't get sniped off or he doesn't get outplayed by anyone. But there are a lot of players that stand out to me, particularly this entire roster seems like a team Insidious representing. You got Vegas, you got Carnage, Learn and Trino as well. So a lot of players from Team Insidious taking part in the BR. It's going to be very interesting. But the Japanese players are also in the mix. And, quite frankly, I haven't really had, gotten to watch a lot of them. I do know a little bit about Kali thanks to Crips. But, there are even more players in the mix. So let's have a look at the next 9 teams that are going to be in there.
Exactly. As you mentioned, the players from Japan, we have heard quite a lot about them. That how deadly they are, how good their skills are, and it is going to be really fun to watch because, I mean, it is going to be a new experience watching these lads in action in front of us and being able to enjoy these matches right now as they happen. And as you guys might have noticed, I mean, it is going to be really interesting to see because how the duos, how the teams have been formed is these are one part of the duo, it is going to be a professional player, and the other side is going to be a content creator and influencer from their own region. And it's going to be really interesting to see how these professional players will be able to adapt. Now, here's a little bit of a backstory that for the past few days, the partners have been practicing together. They've been practicing, they've been going into matches for hours at a day and just trying to build up synergy. So it's going to be fun to see what they have accomplished in the past few days and where they have brought their teams to. Is it going to be possible for them to win? Because once again, there's a lot on the line. As we mentioned, $100,000 in prize money, and this is how it's going to be divided. You finish first at the end of the day. It's just going to be 5 matches. You finish first, you get $30,000. You finish second, you get $20,000. And well, prize money is going to get reduced as the positions keep on dropping down. After 22nd, it's going to be a tough time for you because you're going to have to wait for, the next time something like this happens. But if you manage to secure a win, one win in one game, it's going to secure $1,000 in the bank. And since there are 5 matches happening in the day, potential $5,000 bonus. That is something really exciting, guys. And talking about the format of this tournament, as I've mentioned before, 25 teams consisting of creators and professional players, 5 games that are going to take place today in third-person perspective, and the points are going to be distributed as follows. First position walking away with 40 points, second getting 30 points, third position in every single game getting 26 points. So it is going to be really interesting because now there's the factor of the kill points as well. Each kill will get you 5 points. And Crips, I want to hear from you. Like, do you think those 5 points will bring in a lot more aggression inside the match, more than we are expecting?
Oh, definitely. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, the amount of points you receive for one kill is quite high. You get 8 kills and you have just as many points as the people who end up in the number 1 position. So I think it's a good enough reason for all the players to be super, super kill hungry. And every time you get a kill, you don't just secure those 5 points, but you also guarantee yourself a better placement. So I do think all the players will be encouraged to go ahead and kill everyone that they see. Plus, with so much money on the line, why wouldn't you be more hungry?
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of money on the line, but Floki, I don't think that getting those kills is going to be easy because a few of these professional players are the same players that are moving on to compete in the next big tournament, the World Championship that is about to happen in a few months. And also, we have a few IGLs in the mix as well.
Absolutely. I mean, this is what makes things really interesting, right? I mean, I really wonder who's going to make it out to the top. I imagine that it would be the captains of the team, Learn and Monk probably going at it, just having the more tactical, more strategical approach to the game of PR. It would make it likely that they end up in the top 4 or top 5 spot. But then again, you can never really predict, all these sorts of outcomes. You can say that, maybe they're more likely to be up there. But at the end of the day, it could just simply be the guy who goes more pew-pew than the other. And at the end of the day, it does come down to your aim and your ability to take those engagements really, really well.
And especially when there are the duo partners in the mix as well, because I mean, majority of these creators themselves are very good players, and as I said, they have been practicing with the pros, so maybe their gun skills have been taken to the next level, their game sense has been taken to the next level as well, and if a duo is really good, we're going to see a domination. But talking about the map, now Blackout is very interesting. As we mentioned, I mean, this is something that sort of brings with it a nostalgia factor as well. We've enjoyed this match, this map before, I mean, but it is going to be really interesting because what do you guys feel like? Trip, starting off with you, what do you feel the meta is going to be like? Because, I mean, apart from a few key spots on the map, everywhere else it's quite open.
Yeah, exactly. There's not too much cover in between those points of interest. So if you have a vehicle, well, then good for you. Rotations will be easy. I mean, do rotations even exist in this game anymore? There are helicopters, there are airborne abilities. You can just ninja your way from one place to the other. So I don't think positional advantage will be relevant to that much extent. You can get out of a tough situation and you can reposition back to safety. But I don't know what the meta is going to be like. I've casted a lot of Call of Duty in the multiplayer as well, but in Blackout, you can't really say.
Exactly. But I want to ask you guys the tough question now. Predictions. What do you think is going to happen in this first game? Who do you think is going to be walking away with the first position and $1,000 for the win? Floki, starting off with you.
Of course. I mean, I'm in the spot myself now, so I got to make a choice. I'm actually going to go with Monk for the time being. I feel like Monk and Mafia could have a really good chance to try and take this one. That's going to be my prediction, first place for them.
Crips, you?
A tough one, but I think I'm going to pick maybe Learn and Thug.
Alrighty, so Monk and Mafia from Froki and Learn and Thug from Crips. I'm going to go with IQ and Carly for the first game. Let's see what is going to happen because it's going to be really interesting. We have talked about this. It is going to be an intense matchup, and I guess since it is time for us to jump into the action, I'm going to disappear and it's time for you guys to take it over.
Well, and then there were two, as we are going to head on down to the game. Now, Crips, we've had a discussion about the meta before. We did hear, a few people say, a few whisperings around the corner that the shotguns were really broken for some reason, but I am not too sure when that comes into play. I imagine that'd be towards the end of the game. So does that mean we're actually going to see a bit more of a passive early, considering how open the map is?
I don't think we're going to see too many fights in the late circle. I think most of these people will end up fighting each other right at the beginning. I mean, take a look at where everyone is going. A lot of people dropping in towards Ghost Town, and it is... Okay, never mind. They drop right next to Ghost Town, but they go towards Turbine instead. And of course, nobody's going to go down there. It's called Ghost Town for a reason. It's not at all lucrative. Fracking Tower, Rivertown, firing range will probably be occupied quite a lot. But yes, to answer your question on whether or not we'll see the shotguns, I don't honestly think so.
Okay.
I mean, you might just end up fighting each other at a long distance, so the shotguns might probably be relevant. And as you can see already, we have the first knock on board, and that comes through with an AK.
Absolutely. It's all about, getting those first early initial kills. Whatever weapons you manage to get on your hand, if you deny them from the opponent, if you're in a contested drop, you make a lot work. But here's something that I wouldn't expect to see. Newtown Island being contested of all places over here, as the Warts players have just completely demolished the other ones as they get 2 quick kills. I think that's an elimination right off the bat.
Oh my goodness, yep, that might just be an elimination. We have 2 kills already. Vox Ponto and Vox Unlucky. I did expect that these guys will also perform well. In fact, they were gonna be my prediction, but then I kind of lean towards Learn a little bit. But hey, maybe I'll be proven wrong by these guys. Either way, there is danger nearby. And Team 18, these guys, for sure, they're split up, so the trading potential between them is not that high. But then over in construction side, also we have 2 teams, and that's Mortal right there. One of the most popular players in India and one of the most popular personalities. He's teamed up with KGI. They've got the high ground, but will that high ground actually net them any advantage? Not that sure. They have access to the helicopter, so that could be interesting if they decide to go for a rotation early on.
Absolutely, and you can see them as well, just trying to focus on this game. But here's the thing, I mean, picking up the helicopter, while it's really good, it is so easy to try and take it out with the AR or even with an LMG, right? It's good mobility-wise, but is it really all that safe? I mean, you have to consider a single launcher shot will take it out, and it could put you in a lot of danger. So maybe there's incentive to just hang around here, wait for the other enemy team to rotate out first, and then decide if you want to engage or not. What I'm really curious to see is, okay, so Mortal went for the Ninja while his teammate KGI went for the Defender instead. I really like the setup coming in because it allows one player to be mobile and elusive and avoid those fights towards the late game, while the other player can just hunker down with that Defender, prop that defense up and give himself an angle to work with. And I think that's going to be very, very important as time goes on. I was expecting a couple of Poltergeists here and there, but I really don't think that is going to take precedence over Ninja. I think between the two, you would much rather have Ninja. Just the added mobility can be really, really helpful in these sorts of situations. And speaking of that, the first circle's upon us. We see Nuketown Island in the midst of it all. There's also Fracking Tower, Cargo Docks, Firing Range, and a lot of other places near the general center of the map. So once again, everyone just proving that, you can stay close to the center and it is going to net you some good results. That said, though, a late drop by team number 18 there. I wonder who that is.
Okay, that could be interesting. Most of the teams are inside the circle already, except for the teams who went towards the island on the eastern side of the map. Turbine, Asylum, all these players will have to cross the river and get to its either Rivertown or just a little outside of Houseboat. Both of those areas are considerably safe. There are multiple bridges that can help you get there, but it seems like Mortal has his first enemy in his crosshairs, and he's going to be up against Just Steve and Hamster. Now, with the sniper rifle, he should be able to spot them going where they are, but I don't think it's going to be able to keep up with the amount of speed that the vehicle offers them.
Yeah.
Now, unless...
Okay. He gets a shot off, but still good armor available, so he's not going to get knocked down just yet. This could be problematic, actually. One player just circling around the car. He needs to get back in there, and Morton's still taking pot shots, somehow trying to fight them. But they're both going to get out at the same time and try and contest Mortal instead. Do they know where he's positioned, though? Do they have the weaponry to make this work? No. Instead, they're going to take the vehicles and take the easier route out. But look at Mortal, hungry for those kills. He's actually chasing forward, taking himself out in the open. Fortunately, there's no one really there to try and take him out, so he's going to go unpunished for the time being.
All right. Those guys were trying to use the upgrade station to make sure that their abilities are nice and polished, although Mortal won't let them do so. That's completely okay. They can reposition themselves and go for a upgrade somewhere else, but it seems like Team Vox is in a little bit of trouble. Avocado, he does get traded out. He was able to pick up 1 kill after that, but he's been immediately traded out. So it's still a 1v1 for those two guys, but will that actually result in a team getting eliminated right off the bat? For now, the revivals are coming through. Elsewhere on the map, even Carnage is in a little bit of danger. So, as you can see, fights are happening everywhere. And on the edge of the zone, we have another bunch of teams who are in a little bit of trouble. And that's Carnage right there. His teammate trying to get towards him will probably be able to go ahead and revive him now. But now they're stuck outside the zone a little bit, and they're pretty far away from the next one. Luckily, there are vehicles nearby, so they don't have to worry too much. But I'm pretty sure that the team that they just faced will try to gatekeep them.
Yeah. And you can see Viper in the meantime just trying to cover for his teammate, but Carnage is slowly bleeding out. I think he's just going to die over here. So I'm going to be able to help him out there. And yeah, Carnage ends up being eliminated. Viper is just going to loot his body
okay.
and you make his way in there. I mean, that's all right. I mean, it's still... give him a chance to try and make a comeback in this game to survive until the very end. But also towards fighting range, it seems that we're going to be having a bit of a fight for the members of Insidious, as once again we see Mortal and KGI this time being under fire themselves.
Yeah, this is Learn and Thug, and these guys are up against IQ and Carly. Now, this is pretty interesting. You see, these are the two teams that me and Johnny predicted to win, and Learn already has a knock. He just needs to find the other player. IQ gets double peeked by them both. He's able to down Thug. He jumps down and repositions himself. He has enough time to armor up, but he doesn't even need that. Learn will be taken out. A 1 versus 2 clutch by IQ. Well, it looks like Super Johnny's right, and my prediction's out of the window.
My goodness, that was an insane outplay coming in from IQ over there. Just showing us why he's considered to be one of the big brain players, and his name really proving its mettle there as we move on to the next circle. I mean, it's pretty close to where they are, so they can hold and gatekeep for the time being, but I do see a couple of players creeping up to next to their position. And get a little bit interesting over here, but look at this, the Vox players under fire as the truck. Well, it is being sniped down over here. A couple of shots connect for Inpro. But he's still alive for the time being. And there you go, those smoke grenades coming in handy. But he's still getting those shots in somehow. My goodness. So aggressive over here.
Yeah, Tinpro is able to get those shots out through the smoke, but he needs to be a little careful. Now, he has the smoke ability equipped, so he can see through those smokes, but it seems like that's not the only team that he's fighting right now. He was fighting at the players of Team Vox, but it looks like Monk, your prediction, has shown up over here. But they're not looking to fight this, guys. They're just running away in their truck, and that should be fine enough. They don't need to pick up any fights right now. Even Mortal's team just passed by this area, so it's completely okay for them to hold on to this area.
Absolutely. I mean, you got the truck. You're not afraid of anything at all. It's just so tanky, never going to be taken out unless you've got yourself a rocket launcher. And even then, it's going to take a couple of shots of that to try and, blow it up. But the zone is about to shrink in a couple of seconds over here. You'll see if they decide to take the helicopter or just walk their way in instead. They're fairly close, so it doesn't make sense to give away their position for the time being. And also, just in case anyone was unaware, you do have to remember that tanks are not allowed. So, of course, that's not going to be in picture at all. As Mia and Hate, they are somewhere close to the edge of the circle. And they're also next to team number 2. Let me just have a quick look. That is Higisan and Avocado, by the way. So, yeah, we'll see if a fight breaks out there. But, oh, wait, never mind. That's actually Neutrino and Mavi.
Yeah, this could be interesting. While we were looking at this fight, I have to point out that Pyle and Rockstrong have been eliminated, so now we are down to the last 21 teams. Neutrino might just have a hot potato lob towards him. Hate has his number. Should be able to pinpoint their location exactly, but Mavi is using the medic class. Now, that's not really the most popular one. Either way, that should be fine because he's teamed up with Neutrino, the man who's notorious for using the Holger and the Chopper. The LMG specialist of Team IND. Let's see if he's able to overpower the members of Team CS over here. They're locked in a battle, and Team CS have split up into 2 different houses. So Neutrino and Mavi should be able to pinpoint their locations, but with multiple angles available on Team CS, will they be able to outmaneuver them?
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of focus fire from them to try and, just smoke out the side of Haiti and his teammate there. So, yeah, I believe they're just going to chill for the time being, just, let the circle do its thing and eventually catch them off guard on the rotations. Because you got one class, who's playing the medic over there, so it's not going to be, that difficult for you to try and survive when the zone starts shrinking. But you have to remember, at the end of the day, if you stay there long enough, you are going to have to make a move, and it's going to come down to, who makes that move first. The circle shrinks, and we'll see if, they get lucky and continue this standoff for, the next circle as well. And I guess it's going to go on for another few minutes because, they are inside the circle for the time being. Everyone else, though, getting closer to periphery. Fights are going to start breaking out soon, Crips. Yeah.
And the fight between Neutrino's team and Team CS, it's not going to happen anytime soon because now there are multiple other teams also entering the vicinity. Like, take a look at this random Jeep just coming through. Avocado does not care. He walks right in between those two teams and he just walks right out. And while this was happening, there was a helicopter roaming above their heads just a couple of seconds ago. And I think that belonged to Team Vox, who have now positioned themselves on top of the tower right now. It seems like Team CS have a lot of information. They have the position of Neutrino's team and Mavi. They also have the information on where Team Vox is positioned, and they just saw someone else also go from the other side. Meanwhile, Monk, he's locked in a battle against two different teams, and both these guys. It's gonna turn into a Mexican standoff of sorts over here. Three teams right opposite each other, and it's gonna boil down to what kind of utility these guys have. Now, whether or not they have nades will be very important. I do believe Monk is using the smoke cluster ability, so he can probably block off one of these areas in between the houses and rush towards the other side, but rushing might just put him at a disadvantage. He can easily get third-partied over here.
Absolutely, but you sort of need to break this situation that you found yourself in, the stalemate of sorts. And you can see Monk trying to clear out every single house. He knows that there's another player in there, but he's not pushing in just yet. But looks like Scars is going to make this move. They're going to be able to find Mafia and knock him and take him out here, as Monk is the only surviving member of his team. Elsewhere, Team Incity is just getting slaughtered across the map. I saw Neutrino as well as Vegas being taken out at the same time. And it seems that Carnage will be able to get some revenge in turn, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. As he's the only Insidious member still alive, and I think, if I recall correctly. I'm not too sure what happened to Monk in the meantime, but we will see another fight breaking out as both the Vox members just rush the house and take it by storm.
Well, that was it. Team Vox was the one that was positioned right next to Neutrino's team and the members of Team CS. But it looks like Vox will be the team that comes out on top of that Mexican standoff. The other one that was happening between Monk and the others, that still hasn't come to a conclusion. Meanwhile, IQ has a bunch of players in his crosshairs. He can see Just Steve right there. Immediate knocks comes through. Hamster does knock down IQ's teammate, so it's now boiled down to a 1v1. But they have enough time to go ahead and armor themselves up. IQ using the poltergeist. He's trying to reposition around the other side. He's found Hamster, but he won't be able to catch him off guard. The mobility on Hamster, it's amazing. He slides and jiggles around that rock to find himself a little bit more cover, but the danger isn't over just yet. Ramte has arrived on the scene, and that's going to be it. The end of both those teams right there.
Absolutely, only 11 teams remaining in the fray over here, Crips, as we're starting to move into the final stages of the game. It's going to be do or die for some of these teams as you see them trying to make their moves. Well, it's down to only, I believe there's only 20 or so players remaining on the server now, and it's going to be interesting to see which team ends up coming out on top. I think there are a lot of one-man squads here as well, but, the revival is going to come through for KGI, and that's going to be Mortal actually joining the picture again for Team 8. It's going to make things interesting here because I don't think he's going to have a lot of weaponry to work with. So he's basically dropped into a zone of death all by himself, naked and afraid.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough weaponry. At least he's going to be able to get some more resources from his teammate. But that's just utility and one measly SMG. And they can already sense danger. Bombs dropping in their area. They need to move ahead, but Mortal has been flustered out of that rock cover. and straight into the crosshairs of Mia. That's one very good way to flush out your opponents from cover, and it seems like Team CS are experts at it. KGI will tank a little bit of zone damage and go around the other side. There's no way he can revive Mortal once again, but at least he can keep himself alive and somehow wiggle his way into the top 10. And he is already inside the top 10, so now let's see how much further he can boost his position.
Absolutely. Now it's going to come down to fight selection. That's all that's going to make the difference here. If he times it well, he could potentially come out on top, but if he manages to catch 2 or even 3 teams going at it in a skirmish, but with the circle starting to close on, we're going to see a lot more fights breaking out soon enough. It's all going to be down to Lady Luck over here. And you can see Hate along with his teammate is, for the time being, is going to be camping in this rooftop house of sorts. A very good position, actually. It's kind of hard to flush you out from this area. Nades can be lobbed in, but the only angle from which the house is exposed is an angle when no one is actually holding. So they can be quite safe for the time being and get a lot of good shots off from this position here. You can
for the time being the key word, though, the zone will eventually push them out, and they will be forced to battle against Team 17. And it looks like they know exactly where they need to go. They also know that the position that they want is already occupied. They won't have it free. They will need to battle their way into the zone. But for now, I think the Team 25 probably has the best position of them all. They're kind of in the center and nobody else trying to contest them. Soul Aman, he's going up against 8-Bit Rebel. He's going to be able to finish him off as well. While that's happening, even Monk... No, it's not Monk, actually. It's Moon who's keeping up the end for his team. And he's taken out Aman. So teams are starting to drop down like flies over here. But it seems like Hate will be taken down, and Mia will exact revenge. Avocado, they're trying to push into the compound where they wanted to go against Team 17. And this will be the battle that determines the fate of all the teams on the western side of the circle. It seems like Mia's the last man standing, so he's going to be locked in a death battle for the control of the zone. But no matter what happens, all these teams will be zone screwed in the end. Take a look at Team 25. They're the ones who have the most amount of advantage right now.
Yep, and for the time being, Vox players, they are still in the mix over here. Both of them still standing strong. Ponta and Unlucky, but elsewhere X Mitchell just getting fired upon in 3 different directions because can't do all that much. It's going to be taken out at the end of the day here. But it seems that Vox did lose one of their members. No. Oh yeah, they did. Unlucky is dead. So it's all going to be down to Ponta to try and take this win for himself. As we're down to the final 7 team scripts, and this is where the defenders start to come into the play. You can see them creating angles for themselves as they plop it down and try and hold on to the precious ground that they still have under their control. Sliding low ground could be a little bit of a problem for Tintro, but he's still making it out alive. No one really shooting at him, and he's going to get into a much better position as a result. Okay, Ponta, okay. Guess he is just going to be doing a bit of a Fast and the Furious over here. Going around the circle, moving and trying to survive.
Almost got him.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, car kills in Call of Duty. That's all that was left to see as you'll see there's a lot of fights here for the time being. Carnage trying to battle against the zone, and the players will eventually get knocked down, but looks like the team that did knock him down are also going to get knocked down in turn. Moon does take out Viper, so Vitality still in the play over here. Even though Monk is long gone from the server, as it's down to Moon going up against 2 members, Tinpro and Z1.
Moon does have a little bit of a disadvantage. What's even worse is that his enemies have the smoke through ability equipped, so they can see him through all of that. And we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to be Tinpro and number 6 clutching it out, and Moon somehow making it to that 2nd spot despite Rebel's death. Great stuff coming out from the Japanese teams over here. Just absolutely smashing everyone else. I have to say, it did. I mean, I was really surprised just at the start to see IQ clutch it out against Learn as well as his teammate. And yeah, looks like the Japanese teams are really going to be giving the Indian ones a run for their money. Look at the little victory dance they're doing as well. I mean, it's almost like they're rubbing their face on it.
Exactly, that's an insult on top of an injury. So really good performance by Tintro and number 6 over here, kind of proving all our predictions wrong.
Yeah, I mean, but it was an incredible match, especially from the side of number 6 as well, as you guys keep mentioning. I mean, he got a lot of kills for himself, and I mean, Crips, you mentioned it, right? 5 points per kill. They are definitely going to multiply, and I want to see like what the lead is going to look like. But before that, what about our predictions, guys? What happened over there?
Boy. I am not too sure. Well, Johnny,
Yeah.
I think he had the best prediction out of us all. Just went for IQ and Kali, big brain time. In the meantime, Crips ended up in the last spot as Lern got taken out quite early on,
Yeah.
and then Monk met his maker too. But in the end, Moon was somehow able to stabilize.
Yes.
But yeah, the winner is going to be TinPro in number 6, and I feel like the Indian players are going to start to get a feel for how the Japanese players play, and soon enough, we're going to be seeing a lot more interesting fights breaking out.
Exactly. Plus, I mean, talking about those fights, because that is what it all came down to in the end. You were out in the open, no one has any cover, and we saw people trying to attempt to, well, drive over each other. So that was something really fun to watch, but it was definitely going to be a challenge because you're surrounded and being shot at from literally every single direction. And there was a lot of intense action in this game. We're going to have a look at it right now in the highlights as well. But I want to ask you guys, what were a few of your favorite moments from this matchup? Or maybe in the next predictions, we're going to see you guys switch up. Is that going to happen?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the guy you predicted, IQ and Carly, that team basically smashed through my prediction. IQ was able to pull off a 1v2 against Learn and Thug, so that kind of hurt me a little. But yeah, you gotta be really proud of whatever you said over there. So your prediction was on point. At least IQ was able to get inside the top 15, so that's something, right?
I mean, it was quite incredible to watch, but the moment I saw Learn charging towards IQ after Thug was taken out, I was like, alright, this is going to get intense, and it did. But this, I have to say, it was fun to watch, that the dodge as well, just making sure that he was on the other side of the dip, and the vehicle with the speed that it was coming in his direction with, it was bound to go up in the air. But Floki, now, I mean, with this match out of the way, we know TinPro and number 6, they've managed to secure $1,000 for themselves. Do you think maybe in the next matchup they're going to have a big target on their backs?
I think so. I mean, that's usually what ends up happening. But now the good thing is, now that they've established such a big lead, it's all going to be about conserving it, right? They're going to not take as many risks until the very end, until games 4 and 5. So, yeah, TinPro number 6, even though they can have a target on their backs, they can just sort of try and jiggle around and make sure that they don't get taken out very, very early on. I'm really curious to see how the Walks players performed. I feel like the Japanese players have really, really impressed us. Ponta and Unlucky were really aggressive, and that's not really something I was expecting from them. I mean, I expected them to play really, really well, but I expected more tactical depth, more strategic depth coming out from them. No, these guys are just, up in your face all the time. And if you would have asked me for my predictions for the next game, I would say, I'm going to bet my money on Ponta and Unlucky.
Alrighty, so
I mean, I wanted them.
Oh man!
I mean, you guys can have the you can have the same team. Would you like that, Chris, or do you want to make?
But that kind of takes the fun out of it. I'll choose someone else, no problem.
Exactly. Cause,
okay, how about this? I'll take Hige-san and Avocado. I'll give you Ponta and Unlucky.
You have a deal.
Okay. Fair enough. Well.
Deals are being made right now. An offer that could not be refused from Floki to Cribs. But, I mean, as you guys mentioned, it is fun that these lads are also having, but also a competitive aspect to it, because $100,000 on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let me remind you, the second year anniversary of Call of Duty Mobile. And it is going to be really interesting to see what the next few matches are going to bring to the table, because as we do say, I mean, Blackout, it is a new map. These lads are also still trying to figure out, all right, how can we be more efficient with our duo partners? And we did get to witness that from Carnage and his teammate Viper when towards the end we saw them sort of take a wide split formation trying to push and secure a few kills, but unfortunately as the zone was closing and they were taken down from the zone, there were people waiting for them inside as well, so it did become a challenge, but it was a fun moment to witness. But talking about other things as well, it is going to be really interesting to see that as we did talk about it, the weapons that were being used as well, because as the day goes by, as we drop from game to game to game to game, maybe we're going to see them switch up their preferences as well. What do you think, Floki?
I agree with you. I feel like there are a lot of good weapons in the mix here. I saw a couple of Holgers, I saw a couple of snipers being played as well, a couple of ARs as well. But in the AR department specifically, I think you want the Type 25 or the AK. I think those two weapons are probably the best rifles you could possibly get your hands on. Otherwise, they're not really worth it. SMGs are also, they seem like a big gamble. I saw a couple of players using it. They used it well. But, at that range, you might as well pick up a shotgun for yourself and get yourself another weapon. Maybe something like an AR or a sniper rifle. You're likely to be more effective with that combination instead of getting yourself an SMG. I just feel like SMG is just it's not that good, considering that you want to also be able to take out vehicles, and LMGs, they fit that role perfectly. You take out vehicles in the start of the game, and towards the end you got a really you got a big weapon with a large magazine, a high fire rate. It's just really better than having an SMG in my opinion.
I mean, but Floki, Crips, now I want to ask you that do you agree with what Floki said, or do you think we're going to see a little bit of an echo?
Echo, I don't really think so. Actually, I personally don't like the shotguns, but that's just me.
All right.
Although I have to point out one thing. We only saw the regular weapons in play this time around. We did not see anyone with a war machine or an annihilator or something like that. So I'm kind of surprised, honestly. I did expect a lot more players to pick up the explosive weapons, but that did not come through. Maybe because this was just the first game and they were feeling the lobby out. Now that they have a hang of it, I think they should be able to go for all those airdrops and get those better weapons for themselves.
Maybe in the next few matches. But for now, we're going to have a look at the top 5 featured players from this game and see the individuals who were able to really pop off in this very first match. And, well, we talked about number 6. Well, he is there. First place finish, and also the 5 kills that were secured by him. But the first position has been taken away by Mia, who got 6 kills. That is impressive.
All right.
Surely is, but you have to remember at the end of the day, it is really the combination of placement points and kills that gets you that top spot, not kills alone. And which is why I'm a little bit against those sorts of aggressive playstyles early on. You end up getting yourself a lot of kills, but then you end up lacking in placement points. And, you look back and you think to yourself, man, I worked so hard for this only to end up 4th or 5th. It can feel good too, but you can fall into the trap of taking those unnecessary fights. And I think that's going to be the one you need to avoid.
But I think the most efficient team out of all right now, it looks like it was Tin Pro and number 6, because both of them are here and they have 9 kills. With the 2 people combined. So I want to see the match rankings and see how many points did they actually get for themselves from this game. The kills
95?
and the placement combined.
80.
It is 80 points over there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that's double, right?
Yeah.
You got 40 points from the win and then 8 more kills to get all of this. Now that is really cool. I mean, these guys have double the amount of points of most teams. The closest ones to them have 50. Now, a 30-point lead can be massive in these situations.
Exactly. I mean, as you said, it is definitely going to be massive, but with the kill point factor being there, maybe it can be covered up. Maybe the lads are going to realize, all right, aggression is something that might just work out if we can secure those early kills. But, Floki, what do you think? I mean, are we actually going to see that in the next few matches? Because even now, it's the teams on the top that were able to secure those 8 kills, 6 kills, 5 kills. As we keep going down, the teams are just there with 1 or 2 kills to their side. Do you think that we are going to see these other teams be more aggressive in the next few matches?
I feel like the burden definitely lies on the teams who are down there, right? The incentive and the onus is on them. They are the ones who need to start making moves. On the high end, you can just try and play for placement and be very selective about the fights you sort of take, right? You don't really want to be the guy who starts that fight first, because there's always the risk of getting third-partied and getting backstabbed. But at the same time, if you never take initiative, the circle could simply push you out, and then you have no good room to try and make anything happen. So you end up in the spot where, you either take a bad fight, or you wait, you don't take any fight at all, but then the circle pushes you out, forces you anyway to take some sort of a fight. And I think deciding between those 2 possibilities is what's going to make the difference over here. And I think the Japanese teams are doing a lot better than the Indian teams at sort of recognizing that and striking that balance well.
Yeah, but it is just the first game, and we have 4 more matches remaining right now for these teams. But before we jump towards the next battlefield and the next match of action, we're going to take a very short break, but don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, this is the 2nd year anniversary of Call of Duty Mobile, so we have a very special video for you guys. Let's have a look. Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale World Invitational Asia Pacific. This is Warren Super Johnny John, joined by Floki and Krebs, my two partners in crime right next to me. First game of this tournament is over, where we did see an amazing performance from Tin Pro and number 6. But we're just about to head into the second match of the day. But before we do that, we have to look at the match standings once again and see the points that were secured by all the teams. And yes, there it is, Tin Pro and number 6 securing 85 points. But again, before we jump to the next match, I will give you guys an opportunity to look at the standings and see who do you want to keep for your predictions for game number 2. Floki, starting off with you.
I mean, I made a deal with Crips. I'm going to honor that. I'm going to go with he's at an avocado. I'm going to give him Ponta and Unlucky for this one. But I feel really bad about it.
Crips?
It's okay. I'm pretty sure that my prediction of Vox Ponta and Vox Unlucky will pay off dividends. I have a good feeling that in the long run, they can overtake Tin Pro and number 6. Now, whether or not I'm correct, it honestly doesn't matter to me, but it does matter a lot to the players in the server. So I think they're going to give their best shot. They're going to put their best foot forward. And I think they probably also learn from their mistakes. And hey, sometimes in Battle Royale, it's not possible to win. You can't win all the time. Sometimes the circle doesn't favor you. Sometimes there's too many people right in front of you. Situations don't favor you all the time. But persistence does.
Exactly. Persistence is something that you're going to have to keep with yourself. You're going to have to be persistent if you want to walk away with $1,000 for the win. And at the end of the day, potentially 30,000 more. If you manage to get the first position for yourself. But it is going to be really interesting. As for my predictions, this time I'm going to go with Carnage and Viper. I feel like the performance in the last game was a little bit interesting, and maybe we can see them secure a lot of points in this match as well, but only time will tell what is going to happen in this game, and it's going to be really exciting to watch. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, $100,000 on the line for the second year anniversary of Call of Duty Mobile in this tournament that is happening right now, the Battle Royale World Invitational. We have 10 teams from India, 10 duos, and 15 duos from Japan. So 25 duos in total, 5 games, out of which the first one is done. Just waiting for the second game to begin. And at the end of the day, it is going to be really interesting to see who will be walking away with the winners, with the lion's share of $30,000 just for themselves, just for the duo, that is. But once again, so we did talk about a lot of weapon choices. I want to know from you guys, Script, starting off with you this time, what is your favorite weapon? If you are dropping in the map of Blackout, what would you be picking up? Not picking up because desperate times call for desperate measures, because you're going to pick up whatever you can get your hands on, but what would be your preferred loadout?
Either the LK-24 or the AK-117. That's I think the most balanced weapons in the game. They work at any and every range. But if I have to prefer something for short range, I would either pick up the Fennec or maybe the Cordite.
And Floki, what about you?
Well, I am more of an old school guy. So, I'm going to tell you what my secondary weapon is going to be first. I'm going to pick up the Striker, the shotgun. I would love to have that close range action. It reminds me of those good old Modern Warfare 2 days. But for my primary, I will go for the Holger because I feel like just the fire rate and the huge magazine that it offers is just too good to pass up on.
Really nice choices, because I mean it is going to be really interesting, as you mentioned. I mean, in the close ranges, the shotgun is definitely going to give you an advantage. And Crips, I mean, Fennec. When I first was on the wrong side of that gun, I had nightmares for a very long time. I mean, it is an incredible weapon, especially with the rate of fire that's present. But as for me, I'm a mad lad. I will go for an RPD and an M4. I mean, it just classic choices for me, because I do like to get up close and personal and without taking my hands off the trigger. So hence the RPD. And once you have to fight between mid to close ranges, it's either going to be an M4 or the AK. Both quite decent weapons and quite easy to control. So just a comfort position for me. But it's going to be really interesting to see if the players are going to be picking our favorite weapons as well. Also, to the people that are watching us online, it is going to be really interesting to see what these creators and these professional players together are going to be bringing to the table. I would like to know from you guys if there are any creators in particular that have showcased really amazing performances. You can cheer for your favorite teams, cheer for your favorite duos right now, because they're going to be competing for quite a lot. $100,000 once again. That is, and we did talk about the fact that maybe there might be some friendships that are going to be put on the line as well in the few games. Look, did we actually see that happen?
Absolutely. I feel like, a lot of Insidious players are just going to be looking at each other dead in the eye, after the whole, series is over, and just be judging each other based on how rich and how, how rich they end up compared to each other for the rest of the day. But, I'm also interested to see how the game pans out.
Exactly. But talking about the game, talking about the matches, let's just jump right into match number 2. And once again, you guys will have to take it over.
Well, Crips,
honestly,
there we go again.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, honestly, now that now that you guys mentioned the fact that Holger and the RPD are viable choices, I kind of agree. Yeah, I mean, bursting down these vehicles with the LMGs can really be interesting with this thing, and it can be very easy too. But the reason I picked Cordite is because that's a gun that you can use without attachments as well. So
that is
pick up and start fighting. So you don't need any attachments to make it very viable or make it dangerous. Either way, I still am really excited to see these guys pick up the Annihilators and the tech machines, war machines and everything. Maybe even the FHJs, track your enemies' vehicles and just burst them out of the sky, something like that. So that's something that I'm excited to see. Although we are seeing 2 teams going to Turbine this time around. That's very interesting, and barely anyone going into Fracking Tower. Team 26, who is heading in that direction right now, was not even trying to go towards Fracking Tower first. They were trying to go towards cargo docks, and then they decided to take a U-turn, and they realized nobody's over there, so why not just take this entire area up for ourselves? But take a look at the satellite array and construction site. Oh my god, the number of teams present over here are ridiculous. This will probably become a graveyard of so many teams.
Oh yeah, I mean, right off the bat, I feel like a lot of Japanese teams have dropped in here. As you see, Ten and Scar, we see IQ and Kali, we see a lot of players in this general vicinity trying to grab all the arms they can find for themselves. And right off the bat, well, there you go, the Holger paying dividends. Even though it has a long reload time, the fire rate and the drum magazine make up for it. And Momosata, he's opened the scoreboard up with the first kill of the game. 5 points to him already.
Good opening by Momosata, but his teammate Liar is in a little bit of trouble. Now, they can regroup. Liar has the opportunity to go for the heals, but does he have any heals available? Does he have any shields? I don't think so. Rockstrong's been taken out. Bile nowhere close to train him out. And on the other side of firing range, we have IQ once again looking to clutch. He's at least destroyed the K9 units, but there's one more heading towards him from the left-hand side. But at the same time, TN trying to get the better of him. One player goes down, Momosata gets returned. But will they be able to make this one work? 1v1 now. Shotguns in hand, and the pump right in the face. Carliet is able to win this battle, should be able to pick up the dog tag of his teammate and bring him back in the next revival ship.
Absolutely great stuff coming out here from Kali, and that's one of the reasons why I really like the shotguns. In these sorts of situations, you don't really have to aim that well. You can just, sort of fire from the hip, and you land 2 good shots and you get a kill. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why I'm a really big fan of those shotguns. But maybe my choice of shotgun isn't that good after all. I'm more of a striker fan because I just love the old Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 days where you just throw a couple of smokes down and go in there and get a bunch of kills. And
hey, why not Echo? Everyone's been dubbing it as the next super weapon, the next super shotgun.
It's because I'm a hipster, I don't like anything that's new. I really despise the newer weapons, and Echo, it's a really good weapon, but I don't know, it's just not my thing at all. I just have... I don't think
come
I'm
on.
being edgy, I just don't like to use whatever's in the meta as much.
Keep up with the meta.
I say that, but I'm a Holger fan, so I feel like that's enough of keeping up with the meta for me. I think that's good enough.
Fair enough.
And when you pick the Holger and strike a combination, you get that drum magazine thing going for yourself. So I don't know. I just really like weapons with those drum magazines.
Oh, this is pretty interesting. Mortal and KGI, they dropped into construction site last time, but now they changed up their drop locations. And it seems like they're heading towards the main island.
Yep.
Now, this is also very unique because, first of all, they have the vehicles to make their rotations very successful, right? Very possible. But inside of construction site, we have my prediction, Team Box. And they are up against Just Steve and Hamster. Now, Just Steve and Hamster do have the higher ground. But Lucky and Ponto, these guys are not keeping their position a secret. They're throwing all the grass grenades up there so they can at least force the people off the zip lines and they can make their way upstairs. But the moment they move inside, oh my goodness, Ponto eliminates Hamster right off the bat. Just one more left to find, and Just Steve is on the floor below them. They should be able to hear him drop down, and they know exactly where to look. Just Steve trying to run away from this fight, but will he be found? Yes, he will. The distance is a little too much to fire from the iron sights, but I think they should be able to track him. Oh, no, but now he's inside the truck. He's almost invulnerable right now.
Oh, wait, never mind. Looks like even
okay,
at that
then.
distance, they probably had an LMG on Ponto there. That's probably why they were able to get that kill. But elsewhere, towards the docks, it seems there's another fight breaking out as we see Moon, Rebel, as well as Finesse and Aman trying to duke it out between each other. A cluster grenade along with the Poltergeist being used. It seems that it is going to be a little bit difficult for them to take a straightforward fight. They're trying to make their way out of this. I really like that they're not choosing to engage. I just don't see how it ends well for either of these teams. Player each, it doesn't lose. A player each, it doesn't really make sense going into the late game. They're not going to have all those weapons to work with.
Well, it doesn't really matter if they have weapons or not. What matters is whether or not they're able to get off this ship and get towards the center of the circle first. Finesse and Soul Armin, both of them still have the high ground, which means they should be able to spot out their enemies. But then Rebel equipped the Trickster, and he's going to send out his decoys, so that should confuse them a little bit. Now, the moment they fire at one of those decoys, their positions will be revealed, and that's when Moon will strike. So take a look at this. Rebel is on the low ground. He's probably going to have his Trickster ability available in like 30 seconds. No, he has it available right now, so he can keep spamming them. And the moment his decoys will be spotted by the players of either Soul Aman or the Finesse, their positions will be revealed, and that's when Monk can strike. And both of them now descend to the low ground. Rebel engaging with Aman, but he's not going to get down. That's actually pretty good. He's going to stay up there, hoping that he will be able to bait them into keeping him at a disadvantage. But Moon also joins the fray. He's very low on health. Finesse has been taken down and finished off.
Yep.
Just those two. And Aman not able to trade. He's given them enough time. But take a look at this. Mockless coming in now.
Okay.
Oh, this is cool. So now Rebel, who was already in a little bit of trouble, has to worry about Mortal as well. And these guys are ex-teammates. So these guys are probably going to be looking at each other in the eyes right now. And hoping that they don't get third-partied.
Absolutely, and this is why the age-old adage of, if you can't finish it quickly, don't start it at all, comes from. Now they're in this awkward three-way Mexican standoff, right? And they're all just sort of frozen because they don't really have a clear way out unless, you got yourself a ninja or, the airborne abilities. You can't really make your way out of this one. But looks like these cluster smoke bombs are going to come in handy and allow Aman to at least juke and jive around and sneak around the map and maybe draw a couple of rotations out. Elsewhere on the map, though, Momosata and Liar might be teaming up on Bako here. Bako, oh no, I don't think he's going to expect this. This is going to be a little bit difficult for him to get away with. But elsewhere, Keija actually manages to knock down Aman. And wait, did he actually take out Aman? Did he knock him down? I believe he knocked him down.
They finished him off.
Okay.
I mean, his teammate was already dead, so he's going to die as well the moment he hits the ground. But elsewhere, we have Liar and Momosato versus Bako and Ringo. Now, these guys are being really, really silent and sneaky. They have Defender equipped, which means their footsteps will still be heard by their enemies. If any of them had Ninja, then probably that might just help them out, be a little stealthy. But Momosato and Liar know exactly where their enemies are. They're surrounded. They have no exit opportunity from this house. But then they won't let their enemies also inside. So it's just going to boil down to a lot of patience. Which one of them will make the first move? They have smoke grenades equipped. If any of them had like frag grenades, that would be great, but the garage door opens up and that's their cue. Move inside. They actually move towards the other door and pop the defender right there. They should be able to keep them at bay for now.
Okay.
But once again, it's boiled down to a stalemate. They're just hoping that they will be able to bait out the defensive abilities of their enemies, and then that would kind of leave them a little vulnerable.
I mean, look at the amount of information they're getting. The Lion Momosada just off of the back of that smoke, they're able to hear a lot of footsteps coming in, but it doesn't matter. Bako's actually still going to be able to get a kill, and he's going to double up and find Momosata as well. A one-man wrecking crew, and he doesn't even take a single ounce of damage. All that armor coming in handy as we move on elsewhere. A good old showdown between Team Insidious and Vitality. This doesn't get any better, Crips, does it?
No, this is the classic rivalry. It's been going on since the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
It's been going on since Call of Duty Mobile was a thing in this country. And these guys are inside Array. And we know that inside Array, these fights can drag on forever. Elsewhere, though, Haiti and Mia, they're trying to surround the other side. Ringo and Bako, these guys just managed to win a fight, but Bako's been immediately deleted by Mia. Unfortunately, it's not going to help them out too much. There you go, instant elimination.
Well,
and this is just really, really quick. On one hand, you had Bako who just managed to get a double kill, but within the next 30 seconds, he's been completely eliminated from the game.
Well, let's see what's happening. Yes, now he does have him in his sights, but yeah, that's not a shot that he can really connect there. A little bit difficult for him to actually find that kill. They're a little bit distracted here for the moment. They could make a move over here on Monk and Mafia if they can hear those shots being taken, but it is a little bit risky. You know, you don't really want to give up your position right away. Although the issue is that they are on the edge of the zone, and when it starts closing in, they're going to be forced to make a move anyway. Remember, the zone is going to start damaging more and more because this is starting to get to that third circle now. So things are going to start getting a little bit more tense over here as real estate gets snatched up by every single player. But elsewhere, it looks like Haiti and Mia are actually teaming up on Thug, and they've managed to take him out. Learn is now all by himself, and he's also going to be taken down here. The defender, not enough to keep him alive. And looks like, once again, Learn and his teammate going to be taking a bit of an early exit, and also the defender was not used at all. They're still going to have it for the late game.
Exactly. They bring gifts of death with them, with this truck around them. Looks like Christmas came a little early. Of course, that doesn't mean that any other team is out of danger. Vox now facing Tinpro. And this is the number 1 and number 2 team going up against each other. This battle will probably determine what happens to the final standings as well. Smokes deployed, and the best part is that Tinpro can see through these smokes now. But the revive on Unlucky does come through. They're trying to fall back now. The players of Vox, if they're able to get away from this battle, this will be great. And Tinpro has no idea that they snuck away from the other side of the hill. They're still looking for them around this rock facade. Maybe number 6 can spot them out, but at this point there is a considerable amount of distance between them and Team Vox. Unfortunately, Team Vox won't be able to stay too safe. The zone will eventually force them out, and they're on the edge. Battles once again start as both the players of Team Vox have been able to heal up a little bit. At least they've got shields, so they're not flesh and naked.
I mean, Balta is just a complete Giga Chad. I mean, it has been so long in this game, and he's still not attached a single scope to that weapon. He's still just using the iron sight, and it's working out for him. Elva the Map looks like Carnage is going to be able to take out YT. Mortal is now going to be left to his own devices, but he did get the knock on Viper, and it's going to leave Mortal in a 1v1 against Carnage, but Carnage bests him over here as Mortal. His teammate KGI, they're going to be eliminated over here from the second round as well. Gets on the map though. Tinpro having an intense battle here with Avocado and Hige-san, and we'll see who ends up coming out on top over here. The smoke cluster is still available for them to try and use if they want to disengage, but for the time being, they're just going to make their way inside the house and reload and refresh up a little bit. They try and need to make sure they're ready for the next oncoming skirmish. They're a little bit afraid of the push that Hige-san and Avocado could take, but they're just holding for the time being. Tinpro, he could run to 2 players here if he's not careful, but he's going to double back and go the other way around and keep himself safe. Not sure if he based that off of the sound, but if he did, that's some really good play coming out from him.
Keep in mind, Floki, that at one point, Tinpro was fighting the players of Team Vox. Now, Vox have fallen back, but another opponent has taken their place, and it's Avocado and his teammates. Both of them engaging in battles with each other. Defender ability now on top of the roof. It will flash them for a little bit, but it won't give them too much of an advantage. Meanwhile, Mia has been able to eliminate Mavi and Neutrino, so that's an entire team falling to the ground. But this battle just keeps on going on. Smoke on top of the roof. This will actually put Avocado at a disadvantage. He can now be spotted through the smoke, so he decides to fall back instead. But the zone, Floki, both of these teams are now on edge. They need to make sure that they're inside the center of the circle by the time this 1.5 minutes is over.
Yeah, and you can see Vox are starting to get a little bit desperate as they are on the edge over here. They're spamming through that ball, hoping to actually connect a couple of shots, but that's not happening. You can see Beg for Mercy is just like huddled up in a corner, not even trying to peek there. Because he's terrified of what's going to happen if he sticks his head out of the window. He's going to get a nice haircut. And for the time being, Mercy as well as his teammate is just going to be sticking around here for the time being. Very individual playstyle coming out from Abu and Mercy over here. Because I see a Poltergeist on Mercy. I wonder if Abu is using the Ninja, because it seems unlikely that he has that defender up and running. He could have probably used it earlier if that was the case. But Ponta are unlucky though. They're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. The good thing for them is that they are pretty close to where the next circle is, so they can double back and run a little bit around and make their way in there while avoiding the fight completely. And looks like Beg for Mercy and Abu are going to do the same.
Yeah, both of these teams now engaging in a race with each other to the zone. A Death Rage is fought. We've already seen some Fast and Furious actions, and now might as well just throw some other pop culture references. Well, this could be very, very tricky. Now, one of them has a smoke cluster ability equipped, so they can see through the smokes, but the other guys cannot. Ramte up on the top floor. He should be able to guard the staircases, but the Noah gas grenade could force them out. And at the same time, there is a drop coming right next to them. Now, if this drop has an explosive weapon inside it, then this could be great. Grenade's not doing too much damage. Ramte should be able to recover most of his HP and probably armor up as well, but can they make their way upstairs? They can spam them through the woodworks, and it seems like Haiti has eliminated himself for some reason. But we'll talk about that later on, because Team Vox, this fight just doesn't end. They were engaged in a battle against Beg for Mercy, but now they have another opponent, and even this fight is dragging on for too long. Everyone is just taking so much time to finish off their opponents, it's going to invite third parties. And the third parties does arrive in the form of Butter and Mitchell.
Yeah, now Haiti is going to come out suicide as well elsewhere on the map, but...
again, they leave?
Okay, I mean, I like this, Vox, they are very, cognizant of the fact that if they can't finish off the fight, they need to get the hell out of it. They're not very interested in getting third party, but now they're going to have to take a fight. Ponta in a 1v1, McQueen is going to be able to best him and take him out over here. As now, there's only Unlucky still surviving, but Unlucky will get revenge as he takes out McQueen. So Vox still in the game, very much so, Trips. Your horse is still in the race. But the question is, can it cross the finishing line? Can they make it to the distance?
It's limping.
It's limping, but it's still alive. And a lot of these teams are limping here. In fact, to be precise, 4 of them just only have 1 member standing. In fact, I think all of them only have 1 member standing, except for Team 24. Who is that? I'm going to quickly have a look and tell you. Okay, that is actually Doku Kino and Larano Kyoku, who are still alive and kicking. Both players in the mix, and they kind of need to make sure that they don't really separate out from each other as they move on into the next circle. This is completely open. There is really not a lot of cover here to work with, and those defender abilities, they are going to come in handy about now, as we see one of the players from that team, actually, they do have that airborne ability, but there's no real place to get on high and actually stay in the air for a long time, so it's going to be a little bit hard to try and make it work. Unlucky takes the fight there with the SMG, short distance, makes it work. Not something that I was really expecting, but Mia, oh my god, 2 headshots in a row, straight up eliminating everyone. Unlucky still alive in the meantime, taking so much damage, sits in the helicopter, but it's too late. Mia able to get that kill onto Unlucky there as he gets taken out. And Team 24, well, they are gonna be your winners over here, it seems. Or are they?
1v1 now.
It is a 1v1.
It's just boiled down to a 1v1. Ratme and Mia. I think Mia knows exactly where his opponent is, and Mia did a really good job of eliminating Team Vox over there by just destroying that helicopter. In fact, both of them were in a lot of trouble when the zone started to push them, and Mia somehow managed to make his way into the center of sorts and find this little cover for himself. Ratme is going to have to leave that house in the next 30 seconds, and before he does that, he's just going to try to heal himself up. Mia, though, his armor is overcharged, so he has more HP than his opponent. And he's got plenty of flashbangs too. Let's see if he's going to be able to make this one work.
Yep.
He tries to move in closer. The Fennec is really good at this close range. But Ratman, he's probably just trying to go around the other window side, and they challenge him. As soon as Ratman tries to jump out the window, Mia is able to pump his guts full of lead. No damage taken, and it's Team CS who win the game.
My goodness, I mean, that was insane coming out from all the Japanese teams there towards the end. It just seemed like the Japanese showdown. You know, there's 3 or 4 teams just trying to fight against each other. Vox just playing super aggressively, and Unlucky just keeping himself in the game despite Ponta dying early. But at the end of the day, it is Mia and Hete who end up taking the W. Great stuff coming out of them. 15 kills for Mia? What in the hell?
Oh my lord, this is ridiculous. Double digits, Floki. We've reached them. One more kill, and this guy would have had enough points to make up for 2 wins.
Yes,
70.
That is intense, guys.
Oh, okay. Let me do the quick math in my head. 15 kills times 5, that's 75. And you got another kill on your teammate. That makes it 80. If you finish first place twice. And the win. They have literally earned the equivalent of 3 first place finishes. I don't even know how they're going to be rested for the rest of this game. Oh boy, I mean, you know, I guess we need to change our predictions, guys, because, yeah, the Indian teams, I mean, they are sort of lagging behind. The Japanese teams is really dishing it out today.
I mean, yeah, the players seem to be on point. The level of aggression that they're displaying in the matches is looking really good, especially for Mia. I mean, we remember the first collision that happened with these with this team, right? The fight in which they were able to wipe out another team, where we saw a 1v2 just a few minutes earlier. It is an incredible performance, and yes, 120 points were equivalent of 3 wins. But with this win, they also secure themselves $1,000 in prize money bonus. So I believe that is something that's going to be making these players very happy for a few minutes. But for now, let's bring our happiness out again, because that is exactly what this match did to me. It was a fun one to watch. And Crips, I mean, even this time, the predictions that we made, they didn't sort of work out, I guess.
They sort of worked out. Like, I'm not too unhappy with my prediction. Vox was still inside the top 5, so I'm completely fine with them. What I was surprised, though, is how often they were disengaging from fights when they realized that they're at a disadvantage, right? They fight another team, and they realize that it's taking too long. They get into their vehicles, move. The move, and then after that as well, they're able to get away from that fight. And in fact, at one point, they were getting really challenged. They also lost one of their players, but the revival came through. They were able to get away and somehow force the team that was chasing them to fight someone else. We saw that battle between Team CS and Mia, right? So, I'm sorry, Team CS and Avocado's team. That was really intense, but here, Unlucky literally lived up to his name. He tried to get into a helicopter, but it was instantly blown up by Mia.
I love that moment, and look, it was quite intense to watch. I mean, a last-ditch effort to just jump in and try and fly away to safety, but, well, as Kripp said, unlucky.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you were talking about how some of the special weapons might come into play, and that was actually Unlucky getting super unlucky there, because he was up against a Purifier at close range. Fortunately, he won that fight, but he was still on flames, and the zone was closing in on him, and the air was firing at the helicopter at the same time. So, you know, just 3 times as unlucky as you might have initially thought.
Exactly, but I have to say I'm loving the anniversary skins that we're getting to see in these matchups, and thanks to Activision and Call of Duty Mobile, we also had an opportunity to enjoy those skins for ourselves, and it is definitely quite cool, because when you're moving around in the game and you have the anniversary backpack on your back, and it's just doing all those cool things with the colors moving around, I just love to see that. But with how these players are playing, I guess skins are going to be there, but just for the pleasure. It's more about the gun games, as you said, the special weapons being brought into the action right now. And maybe as we move further and further with our day, with the matches, we're going to see a lot more intense action. Because, I mean, with the last game, with the last game we said, all right, the next game is going to take it up a notch. We did not think about an individual getting 15 kills, did we?
Absolutely, but before we move on to that, real quick, you know, skins, they do give you a lot of street cred. So, if you got that flashy backpack going, just, you know, everyone's gonna know you are the coolest kid in the neighborhood. So do make sure to get yourself that battle pass going. But, yeah, with that said, 16 kills for one team in a game where there are 50 players. That is...
Exactly. I mean, Crips, I mean, you mentioned this when we were talking about the points, right? And that, I believe, was just an expression, right? All right, secure 8 kills, secure 10 kills. We did not mean, like, go ahead and actually do it inside the game.
I know, right? I mean, hey, even if we could not see this coming,
Yeah.
I'm actually very happy.
Yes.
Contrary to popular belief, I love being proven wrong with my predictions because they always throw you off guard
Yeah.
and they entertain you at the same time. So why not? Mia with 15 kills, I can't even imagine how big of a jump that is. He was somewhere in the top 10,
Yeah.
but now I'm pretty sure that team is going to be on the #1 spot.
I agree, because 120 points from just one game, that is definitely going to be a boost on the leaderboard. We're going to have a look at that in a bit, ladies and gentlemen. But as we mentioned, I mean, it was an incredible performance from Mia, but there were other players as well who were getting all those kills and all those points for their teams. And we're going to look at the top 5 featured players right now. And, well,
What?
all right. It looks like Mia was the
Are you
domination. Yeah.
Are you serious right now? I mean, sure, I'm happy that both my players, Vox, Ponta, and Unlucky,
Yeah.
they are in the top 5. But look at the disparity. Look at the
Yeah.
amount of difference.
15, and the next
Insane.
highest is 3.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I mean, I don't even know what Mia has been doing these days. You know, I mean, he is absolutely cracked. I'm just curious to see what happens in the next game. You know, I was really, surprised that when, the Vox players were, just choosing to disengage instead of taking those fights.
Yeah.
Judging by the nature from the first game, I thought that they were actually going to go the distance, but they played it very, very smartly towards the end there. They realized that they have a vehicle, that they don't need to take these unnecessary fights, and instead, they chose the slightly riskier option of rotating out with the vehicles, but in the end, it paid off, like, heavily for them, right? Because they got that 4th place finish, and they get those extra placement points going.
Exactly, and talking about those points, let's have a look at the standings of this game and see exactly how many points they were able to secure. And wow, from 120, we have Vox, Ponta, and Unlucky on the second, sitting at 52 points. Now, that is a massive difference, Grips.
I don't know what to say. More than 118 points of difference?
I mean,
That's ridiculous. How will anyone catch up to them? I mean, there are teams over here with less than 20 points. Then there are teams with less than 50 points. And then there is CS Mia and CS Hete. Like, there's 3 tiers of them right now.
Yeah. And it is just incredible to watch the performance that these lads have put up. But I have to say, though, if the other players, they are competitive players themselves, so I believe they're in their minds, the thought process that might be going right now is maybe we can do this as well. Now, they have a challenge, right? Because 15 kills in a match, it is not an easy feat. But now we have a target. Let's see if anyone will be able to beat it. But for now, we're going to have a look at the overall rankings. And as we were thinking, yeah, the 120 points do look really good on the game leaderboard. But as we move to the overall rankings, this gives them a lead now. Ponta and Unlucky, they're going to be on the second with 117. And Mia and Hete have taken the first position. 22 kills from the 2 matches and 168 points. Floki, an incredible advantage to this team.
absolutely insane stuff coming out from the side of Mia and Hete. You know, the fact that they have such a huge lead, it's going to give them that security cushion of just having not really being too upset even if they end up throwing one game. The only thing they have to be afraid of is Ponta and Unlucky going on a rampage in the next game and getting themselves all those kills to catch back up. Because if Mia and Hete get eliminated early, and at the same time, Ponta and Unlucky are able to get a bunch of kills and place first, that is the only time I'd have to worry about their throne being in jeopardy. Otherwise, they're doing just fine. I mean, the only competition for them here is Tin Pro number 6 and Ponta and Unlucky. So it's going to be up to them to try and dethrone Mia and Hete, and I don't think that's going to be an easy task at all.
Exactly, and I'm glad that you mentioned Tin Pro in number 6, because that is just what I was about to come to next, because these lads have been consistent. Even this match was a decent performance. The last one, they did walk away with $1,000 and the win on the first game, and that is also something that is important. I don't think any team right now is going to be looking to just chill for a match, because even just chilling is going to cost you $1,000 bonus that you could have won in that game. And, well, money is always a good motivator for to win a game. So it is going to be really interesting to see the next set of teams that will be walking away with the victories, and also how the overall standings are going to be working out. But before the next few matches, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a very short break, and while we're on the break, you guys can enjoy this video about the new map, Blackout.
What's your preferred loadout? I'll say AK-47 and MX-9 because these guns are awesome. Describe the Blackout map in one word. It's awesome. If you had to pair for duos with a famous personality, dead or alive, who would it be? Shah Rukh. He's amazing. Which is the best drop location in Blackout according to and why? Again, I'll say fracking tower because the fracking tower has enough loot for the whole team. Plus, it's in the center of the map, so no worries regarding the safe zone. It's always nearby somewhere. If you could own one location building in the Blackout, what it would be? Hijacked, that cruise ship. According to you, which is the most underrated and overrated weapon in the game? Okay, so for most underrated, I will say Peacekeeper. That gun is really very dangerous, but it's not that much used by people. And for overrated, I'll say DRH. That gun is not so good in BR.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale World Invitational Asia Pacific. This is Super Johnny, joined by Floki and Crips right next to me. And 2 games of today's events are done. We have 3 more matches left. In the last game, we saw Mia and Hete take an amazing lead on the overall leaderboard. But now, as we discussed before the break, there is a challenge set up for the players to compete in the next 2 matches, to beat in the next few matches. And moving forward, predictions, guys. It's time for predictions. Floki, starting off with you again. Who do you think is going to be walking away with $1,000 from this match?
Oh boy. Well, I am actually going to hedge my money on Tinpro and number 6 this time around. I feel like they have a very good shot. They've been very consistent. They just haven't gotten that first place finish yet. So my money's on them.
Crips?
I'm gonna stick to my prediction of the Vox guys, the 2 Vox players, Ponto and Unlucky.
I mean, I have a feeling in my gut, and I'm gonna go with Crips right now, because Ponto and Unlucky, they have been looking really good in the last 2 games, and I feel maybe third time's gonna be the charm, and we're gonna see them walk away with $1,000. But who knows? I mean, we have been discussing the lads from India are doing pretty decent themselves in terms of kills, just trying to keep up with the number of points they can get for getting those kills. 5 points for kills in every single kill, by the way, inside the game. So it is definitely going to be a priority. But with the 3rd game just about to begin, once again, it's time for me to be a ninja and get out of your way. So Crips and Flo.
Ninja, huh? That's probably my favorite ability. But we've seen a lot of other players over here use the smoke cluster. We've even seen some people use Defender, even Trickster for that matter.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure if Ninja is the best class anymore. But we'll take a look, because this time the playing path is vastly different from the last time. We start towards Hydrodam and go towards cargo docks. Now, we have seen quite a lot of fights near firing range, near Rivertown and Fracking Tower, but we've barely ever seen anyone go towards Nuketown Island, or even Hijack for that matter. Almost every time someone is in construction site, but then there are hotspots like Lighthouse, Cargo Docks. At least last time we saw 1 fight in Cargo Docks, right? Before that, we saw absolutely nothing.
Absolutely. I mean, I have to say, the only fight we saw on Nuketown Island was in the very first map itself, right? When the 2 teams dropped in there, had a bit of a go at it, and we got our first bloods there. But ever since then, Nuketown's been real quiet, and once again, it's going to be the case this time around too. Really surprised that there's actually a little bit of contest going on towards Coast Town.
Exactly.
You see team number 8, and I believe that's team number 20 going at it over there. So I'm curious to see who ends up coming out on top there. But in the meantime, it seems that Rockstrong and Pearl Gaming at the start out to be there. Learn has been eliminated right at the start of the game. Oh my goodness. Learn isn't having a very good day, is he?
Nah, not really. Thug couldn't really do anything about it. What I'm also more concerned about is that whether Thug will be able to recover his banner or not. If he can at least grab his tag and bring him back in the next spot, that's not going to be possible as well. Even Thug's been taken out, so that's them.
Again.
Oh my god. Hey, I mean, I didn't predict them this time around. I predicted them to win for the first game, but I have changed my opinion since then. Either way, Rockstrong, for the first time, he's able to get 2 kills for himself. He's able to eliminate Neutrino and Mummy, and that's very big, because Rockstrong's team has been sitting at the bottom with 0 frags up until now. They now have 2 points. I'm sorry, 2 kills, which means they probably will have 10 points for themselves. Meanwhile, the Vox boys, they're up against Just Steve. This battle happened last time as well, and last time the Vox guys were able to win, but Unlucky drops down, and he gets instantly eliminated. Just Steve, he's able to redeem himself. He exacts revenge for what happened last time around.
He's gonna get the dog tags.
Yeah, which means a revival flight is probably on its way. Now, this is big. You see, Team Vox was in the top 3. Just Steve and his teammate Hamster were not even inside the top 15. So this is a massive upset. And keep in mind that the last time these guys faced, right in this spot, right in construction zone, Team Just Steve and Hamster were not able to win. But this time, Unlucky drops over that ledge, and he's not able to fire before Just Steve. So Just Steve is able to win that battle instantly.
Okay.
It's almost like walking into his crosshairs. Just gets shredded. But over here, Vegas and Snacks have been surrounded. On one side, you have Carliet. He's able to at least get the knock onto Vegas. Nothing else to follow. More clusters coming through, and they get double peaked. Snacks had absolutely no chance once he was getting shot by them both.
Absolutely, and once again, this map might look a little bit familiar to you guys, and you would be right. They have incorporated a lot of elements, such as those in this map, as I believe we saw the estate area as well. We saw this particular part of the map as well. Let me just quick look at the map and see where it is. Exactly, firing range. There we go. So, yeah, I mean, if you've been following Black Ops players, you're going to find a lot of these locations iconic. And, yeah, I mean, what better way to make a Battle Royale map than just to take all the iconic locations, plop them into a field together, and make a BR map out of it.
Yeah, that's perfect, right? So you've got both the elements. You've got the classic multiplayers, the multiplayer players, the ones that play 5v5, even they will be attracted to this game mode. And what's even more interesting is that they've made Nuketown into a complete island of its own. Probably one of the most iconic maps, which has been through in every Call of Duty iteration. Whether it's on PC or on console, Nuketown is always present. And I really like the fact that they give it the respect that it deserves, make it an entire island of its own.
Absolutely.
But no fights in Nuketown Island just yet. Surprisingly, there were a couple of teams landing inside Coast Town, but they haven't fought each other yet. In fact, they're all just going to get out of there and try to move into the zone first.
Yeah, I think a bit of a gentleman's agreement there not to take all those early unnecessary fights of sorts, and I feel like it's going to go a long way into trying to make sure that they end up getting into a good spot. As I see Monk eliminate McQueen there, so good for them. But once again, I have to say, a lot of these teams have been struggling a little bit against the Japanese players. They seem to be having a pretty good idea of how to play against Monk. Bit of a yikes
randomly
there. Just making sure his Ninja Gear works, just trying to make sure that he can still, rattle around like Spider-Man.
Yeah, making sure that his grapple is nice and polished. He's probably going to head towards one of those upgrade stations and, upgrade his ninja ability. That will give him 2 grapple charges at once, and that could be really influential in movement. But we have another fight brewing up. It's CS Liar and Momosata, and they're creeping up on Tin Pro and number 6. Now there is quite a bit of distance in between these two teams, but another contender has just entered the mix and they just waltzed past them. Abu and Mercy, they drove past these guys like it was nothing. And they're about to drive past Tin Pro as well. Now, I don't think Tin Pro is just going to let them pass because this bridge will take them right to him. Nah, they're across the bridge. So, Tin Pro, he's probably going to get into a car of his own before he engages with Abu and Beck for Mercy.
Yeah.
But they've taken off in a helicopter, so no chasing them.
Oh, boy. Yeah, now it seems that Hige-san and Avocado are going to be taking a fight. In this house over here, as I believe Bako was spotted there. Or at least is moving in a way that he has been seen. And yeah, Bako is taking a lot of damage right now. Just trying to run away from Avocado, but Avocado has the number. Is going to clean him up. And Bako gets eliminated right away because his teammate is dead. He has been removed from the server as Hige-san and Avocado. They now have KGI, YT, as well as Mortal to contend with. I mean, we have seen them take a lot of early skirmishes, KGI and Mortal, but I don't think I've seen them actually win one out just yet. They have been struggling a little bit, but hey, hopefully this can be the turnaround that they need. They also have the defender ability to work with, so they can create angles of their own. If they do find themselves a nice corner and a nice place, they can plop that defender down and just try and stay alive. Although I have to say, I really like this combination of the Poltergeist as well as the defender. I feel like it covers all your bases. What? Carly comes in with a big backstab. And he's going to be able to recover those dog tags and make sure that the rest comes through for his teammate. That was an amazing bait and switch. Wait, did he?
Exactly. That was a 1v2 clutch as well from Carliot. He was able to exact revenge for his fallen teammate, recover the dog tags, and now he can definitely go for the revival. Oh my lord, that was incredible, that 1v2.
Yeah, great stuff coming out from Kali there, but... wait, did I just call Kali iKali? My apologies, guys. Kali, I meant Kali. I didn't mean iKali. That is completely different.
Pop culture references all over.
Yeah, good old Nickelodeon days. But for the time being, you don't get to see this on Nickelodeon. Tin Pro and number 6 trying to make their way out of this location here. They can't take this fight against Mitchell and Butter because Mitchell has been knocked down. It's only Butter still surviving by himself. And soon enough, they're going to close in on him too. And that's the good old M4 carbine, the trusty weapon in their hands. And you can see Tin Pro just looting his dead body. They're not aware that his teammate is nearby. They could catch them by surprise if they're not careful. But you can see Tin Pro just moving around and trying to scout and see if his teammate is anywhere next to him. Elsewhere on the map, Monk and Mafia still standing for the time being as the second circle is closed in. This time we see Mafia with the medic ability. Could come in handy. Monk with the ninja. Actually the more we play, I feel like, ninja is one of those things that feels good to have when you're new, but as you start getting better and better, you start to prefer the other abilities. The smoke clusters, the poltergeist, the trickster. I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot better. I mean, on this particular map, I feel because there's not a lot of verticality over here, that ninja really doesn't pay a lot of dividends. So you're much better off getting a poltergeist or something along those lines.
I mean, I was going to say that the ninja ability keeps on getting better for you because then you know how to use your grapple in a much more nuanced way. But yeah, you're right. There's not too much verticality to exploit that. So it kind of does make sense. Although Vile, with the minigun, she's on top, but unfortunately, Aman will be able to get rid of her. Her teammate, Rockstrong, stuck inside that car. As soon as he gets out, Aman will be able to get rid of him as well. And that's it. Another team bites the dust. Aman and Finesse. Now they have a really, really cool death machine in their hands, equipped on top of a really strong car, although the car is about to blow up, so they probably will not take it. But that's completely fine.
Yeah.
That is completely A-okay. They have managed to just get inside the top 17. And with that, we are about to reach the halfway mark.
Uh-oh.
Although Viper, he's found Tin Pro and he's finished him off as well. Now, what's going to happen to number 6? He's just going to try to slide away to safety. But I don't think he's going to be able to get too far. People are still chasing him. Gets on a bike. Should be able to keep himself safe. And while that's happening, another battle brewing up between Carnage. IQ's pushing up from the left-hand side. His teammate Garliet right around the corner. They double peek him, and that's going to be the end of Team Carnage as well. But Viper, he's looking at him, and he wants to take that shot. You can see that his mouth is salivating. He's itching for blood, but he's probably not going to go for this right away. If he was a little closer to Carnage, then he probably could have traded him out. But at this point, I think what Viper's just trying to do is recover the dog tag of his teammates and probably go for the revival later on.
Absolutely. I mean, Viper has to play a little bit more conservatively right now because he is alone. I don't know when, but it seems that Monk did get eliminated. And okay, Carly spots out number 6 just going around on a bike by himself, but thankfully he is so far that it's almost impossible to land those shots unless you're moving along the same axis as the scope down rifle. So he's gonna be staying alive for the time being as he's just zooming around the map and making his way across the map. I
am Speed.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Yeah, I'm half tempted to sing that Making My Way Downtown song, but I feel like it would be inappropriate in the middle of a little war. So
speaking of Speed, there is a player called McQueen over here, if you forgot.
Oh yeah, McQueen and I believe Jan are the teammates. Let me just quickly have a look. Yep, it's Jan and McQueen, so it'll be interesting to see who ends up coming out.
Flank from Butter.
Okay.
So that fight in Construction Zone probably will have to wait as we now take a look at Mortal and KGI. But while I say that, the fight does happen.
Oh, man.
Butter, he's able to make that flank successful, and Monk is able to trade him back. But we'll talk about that later on. For now, KGI and Mortal can hear their enemies downstairs, and they're just waiting for them to engage. If their enemies continue to move upwards, then it probably will be a little problem. But Tien, it seems like he's going to climb up from the door, trying to create an off angle of sorts, but he gets caught, has to fall back. Either way, now the jig is up. Both the teams know each other's positions. They know they're above each other or below each other, depending on which perspective you're looking at it from. But there are other teams in the vicinity, and a third party, maybe even a fourth party, would be possible if this fight drags on for too long.
I mean, hey, the onus isn't on Mortal and KGI to take the fight, right? It's really down to Scars as well as his teammate to try and make something happen over here. They can just stay, as long as they possibly want and just gatekeep them from getting out of here. And you can see Scars is being really, really careful. He's trying to use that third-person perspective to try and figure out where Mortal and KGI are playing. And you can see he's really afraid of stepping out a little bit too much because he knows that he's going to get shot in the head, but he's actually making his way up there, spots out KGI.
Oh my God.
And I think that's important information being gathered by him. He knows where one of those players are now, and yeah, he knows what angles they can maybe clear out from and get out of here from. The only issue is that they don't exactly know where Mortal is, and that's what's keeping them over here. Mortal's sitting up there by the rooftop next to the door, and they're afraid that he could be downstairs too, just trying to gatekeep them. But for the time being, seems that elsewhere on the map, you're going to see a lot of fights breaking out here around the border. As the last flight gets taken off, and Viper also ends up biting the dust as Mia takes him out. And yeah, soon enough you're going to be seeing a fight breaking out between KGI Mortal and his teammate. But elsewhere on the map, it looks like Moon has managed to snag up one kill for himself real quick. Still alive for the time being, but back towards Mortal and KGI we go. Mortal has been knocked down, and KGI in a 1v2 can't make it happen. What the hell went on there? Mortal? He's alive, but he gave up his team.
Yeah, I think he dropped down to the wrong floor. He thought he had an angle on them, but ended up going to the basement instead of the ground floor. And now with these smokes, these guys should be safe enough, but Mortal walks into them. One frag trades for the other, and TN is able to kill Mortal off. Should be able to get his teammate back up on board, but Mia over here, he's able to finish off Rebel, and more to follow as his teammates are right around the corner. Now, whether or not Rebel will be avenged, we will have to wait and see. But for now, Moon is just going to keep his position a secret. He's hiding behind this rock facade, knows there are other teams nearby as well. So if he peeks out right now, he'll be facing not 2 people, but 4 people at the same time. So he's just going to hold on and try to just stay alive. Maybe recover the dog tag. There is still 1 revival fight left, so he can probably go for the res, but it's going to be just as unlikely. Mia and Hete now just rolling around the other side. They can hear the gunshots between Justive, Hamster, and Finesse, so they probably will go ahead and third party this one. But Finesse is all by himself over here. Moon is trying to go around the other side. He's on a bike and he runs away. Maybe has already gotten the dog tag and now heading towards the revival station. But at this point, it's a little too late. The circle's too small, and the moment you land on the ground, you're not going to have too much.
What?
But look at that! Mia blows up the vehicle. Instant double kill for him, and this guy's on a roll again.
My goodness, the slaughter just never stops from them. They wake up every day and they choose violence. And on this particular day, they dished out a lot of it. Plus, the smoke's going to save the enemy team from their wrath for the time being, but Mood still zooming around on his bike, just trying to be as hard to hit as possible. We see Justive also try and make the same move, but elsewhere Beckham Mercy takes out Finesse, and Mia has also taken out Bullet, JDA. My goodness, so many kills for them already. But look at Abu and Mercy, they actually have the high ground over here, so it's gonna be super hard for them to be pushed out of this area. But Mia is above them. His teammate Hete has been taken out now. Justive surrounded by so many players. He is just scared for his life, as Mitchell will end up eliminating Moon. So now the burden is a little bit lighter, but look at that no gas grenade actually coming through. Justive gonna set up the defender, move forward, trying to blow the vehicle up so he can get a double kill on the back of that. That could work. Grenade being lobbed through, but it's a bit too far forward. And you can see Justive still standing strong, has the concuss, I believe. That is it. It's gonna go off, but does he peek on the back of it? He's trying to, but they're split up. Can't connect them both, and now he's got an awkward position here as he is gonna get knocked and eliminated. Wait, that's actually Abu who managed to get butter down thanks to the grenade was being lobbed from the high ground. And elsewhere, Scars will finish off Mia's rampage in the end. Now it's just down to these 9 players, 5 teams still in the mix, but only 2 of them have their full rosters.
Goodness, I'm actually very surprised how he was able to stay alive over there for so long. It seemed like everything was going against him, but at least he's able to outlive one more team. Abu now on the high ground. He's just trying to duke and jive. He probably will thrive. Hamster, he cannot survive this one, and that's it. Abu now has to make his way inside the zone where there are already teams waiting for him, but it seems like Ratme, he's playing Death Race over here, circling around, and he runs over Abu. That's one more going in their favor. And this is it. These guys are just gonna be like a rolling death machine. Sure, they can't have the minigun mounted gun with them, but a car with one player peeking out of the window, that's just as good. TN and Ratme now up against each other. Both these teams have done enough work, but they've got the defenders equipped, and a knock comes through. This could be the opening that TN has been looking for. They go for it immediately. One from the right, one from the left. They try to swing around both the sides and survive. Oh no, this is just not happening. Ratme somehow manages to turn it into a 1v1. Is it possible? Can he actually clutch this off? At least he's able to confirm the kill, so there's 5 more points in his favor, but he cannot heal, and TN has him in the bag.
My goodness. The end of the day, once again, it is going to be TN who ends up taking that first place spot. Great attempt coming out by them though. Even though they did not end up in the first place, it was a very valiant attempt. They get themselves that second place, all those extra placement points. But if I do remember correctly, I think in this game too, Mia did go on a bit of a rampage. But yeah, they at least don't get the first place finish, so they don't get to solidify the first place, as it's going to be Hunt and TN who end up taking that first spot.
Hey, but even with all of this, at least that last player was able to confirm that kill so that he gets at least 5 points more in the bag. So even if he finishes in second place, that's at least a little more points in his favor. Although I have to say, Floki, very unlikely contenders in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely. And talk about unlikely contenders. We did see Mercy and his teammate Abu also doing really well. I mean, before they were run over, of course, Abu getting taken out over there by Ratme. But yes, Crips, I agree with what you said. Securing those 5 points might just be the thing that the team needed to bring themselves a little bit higher on the overall rankings. Although, congratulations to TN and their teammate Hunt for doing a wonderful job, securing $1,000 as well in the process. And yes, Mia's rampage that was shut down. I believe the last time we saw Mia's POV, they were on 7 kills. 7 kills had already been secured by that point, and after that, I believe a few more. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the changes will be in terms of the overall rankings after this match. But hey, again, Crips and Floki, we had an incredible game, and even this time we got to see a lot of action. So let's have a look at the highlights of the match and see all the action once more.
Absolutely. I feel like this game in particular, Walks just got up to an unlucky start. You know, they both vaulted over that little railing that was there, and as a result, just he got that extra time that he needed to shoot and gun them down. And I think Walks quickly realized the mistake they made as well, and probably not going to be repeating it in the next game. Although Hikesan and Avocado, they seemed like they got up to a nice start, but in the end, couldn't really make it to the top 10. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate for them. But overall, I mean, really, like Crips said, unlikely contenders in this game. I didn't expect TN and Hunt to actually get to that first spot.
Well, honestly, me neither. Me neither. I mean, these guys were struggling quite a lot during the mid game, and the fact that they're able to survive and go all the way to the top, that really tells you what the fighting spirit can mean for these guys. And over here, Justine, can someone please explain to me how he managed to stay alive for so long?
Yeah!
There's players everywhere. There's a team to his left, there's a team above him, there's a team right in front of him, and he can see so many players, he can hear so many footsteps, but still, nobody saw him.
Exactly, and even he was completely zoned into the 2v1 situation that he was stuck in. But I have to say, I mean, we did see TN and Hunt a little bit earlier before the victory moment in the highlights as well, and there was a fight they were part of with Mortal and their teammate. I mean, it was incredible, but a little bit of interesting situation over there, because you have one of your teammates knocked out, you're forced to back off, and from there on out they finish off Mortal and go on to win this game. It was quite interesting, because had that situation played out completely differently, had KGI and Mortal managed to get a team wipe over there, maybe we could have had another Mia victory in this matchup as well. But let's move forward and have a look at the top 5 featured players from this matchup. And yeah, Mia is going to be sitting on the first again with 7 kills.
No surprises over there, honestly. But at least Kali was also able to put up a decent performance this time around, along with TN. So all these players are now starting to step up.
Yes.
And sure, Mia may not have won the game, but if he keeps up this momentum, if he's able to keep on getting all these kills, he should be able to stay at the top. He should be able to stay afloat.
I agree with that. I mean, the points do multiply, and at the end, I mean, they did get some placement points for themselves as well. But Floki, what do you think? I mean, will the kills alone be able to keep the team on the first position?
I mean, they also end up in 6th place, right? So that's not bad as long
Yeah.
as you keep ending up somewhere between, top 3 and top 4, and you manage to, I you know what, not even top 4, I'd say top 7 or top 8, and you
Yeah.
keep getting yourself a big number of kills, you can conserve that lead pretty well. I mean, I feel like, Mia is doing just that as of now, and I don't think, despite this result, Mia and Hate are going to be, down there in the 2nd or 3rd place. I feel like they're still going to be up at the top because
Yeah.
look at that, 55 points for them. Only a 15-point difference between them and Hunt and Teen, and I don't think that's going to be nowhere enough to close the gap that they created over here. Although, have to say, looks like Moon really is trying his best to make this one work for himself and his teammate here, and also, I guess, for the rest of his teammates, because I'm seeing a lot of Indian players being eliminated right off the bat.
Yeah.
As, Learn and Thug, they got knocked out right away. Vegas also got knocked out. Neutrino also got taken out there. Soon enough, even Monk and Mafia ended up biting the dust, although they are in the middle of the pack. So, I have to say, slowly but surely, it seems the Indian teams are also starting to make their way up there. But how does this affect the overall standings? That's what I'm curious about.
Well, let's find out. Let's have a look at the overall standings right now and see if anything is going to change over there. And well, as far as the top is concerned, the answer is no, because we still have Mia and Heyday sitting at with 168 points on the first. It's going to be really interesting to see. All right, Moon and Moonscope and Rebel, as you did talk about them, Floki, we do see them on the 6th with 69 points. Aiko and Carly bringing themselves up to the 7th. But still, the difference is there, Crips. There's a massive difference between the top 3 and the rest of the lobby.
Yeah, a massive, massive difference. Sure, maybe Doku Kino and Carnage and Soul Viper, these guys could probably catch up to the top 3 considering they're the closest ones.
Yeah.
But again, a difference of more than 25 points is no joke. And we've been saying that getting 5 kills is difficult, but then some players make it look easy. The other players just cannot do the same. And if you take a look at the top players, yeah, sure, they may or may not have won the games, but they're always able to make this consistent performance happen because of the number of kills that they have. The sheer amount of skulls under their belt. That's what keeps them at the top.
I agree. I mean, you have to be a skull collector in the matchup right now because, I mean, it seems like the kill points are the only thing that matter in the game. You have to be aggressive, have to go for those fights, and make sure that you're walking away with, as Floki pointed out, if you're walking away with 7 to 8 kills, doesn't matter if you're in the top 7, if you're in the top 8, you will have those points one way or the other. And slowly and steadily, as they stack up, as we move forward with the matches, you can bring yourself on the first position by the end of the day. But in doing so, you might just miss out on the bonus money. That is $1,000 for getting the win in any match. But ladies and gentlemen, for now, before we jump to match number 4, we're going to take a very short break. And while we do that, you guys can enjoy this video once again about the 2nd anniversary of Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale. Once again, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale World Invitational Asia Pacific. This is Warren Super Johnny John, joined by Floki and Crips right next to me. Right. Floki's here, Crips is here. And our 3 matches for the day are done out of 5. We have 2 more games remaining. But before we jump to the game, let's have a look at the overall rankings, because there are going to be a few changes. I mean, we're going to see points being added because, the kills were secured by the lads. And yes, the difference has just gone, it has just gotten bigger, Crips. 233, and then we have 133.
More than 100
Yeah.
points. Like, get out. At this point, we can basically give the trophy to Mia and Haiti. But I don't know, maybe it's possible for Twin Pro and number 6 to make a comeback. There are still 2 games remaining, but the chances of that happening, really unlikely. They're going to have to pop off in a massive way to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
Floki, what do you think? Do we need like 20 kills in a match to beat a lead like this?
No, but I do believe that Tin Pro and Vox both need to get incredibly lucky, and Mia and AJ need to bite the dust very early on if they want to, have a chance of taking the trophy over here. So, I mean, I think even if they bite the dust early on, let's say in the first 5 team, that's and one of them ends up being CS Mia and Haiti, Tin Pro and Tin Pro and number 6 as well as Vox boys have a chance to get close at least, and then it's going to come down to that final game. So yeah, I mean, this is really close, but it's really dependent on Haiti as well as Mia to just sort of throw their lead away. And I deliberately use that word throw because it is actually what's going to take for them to lose at this point. I don't think they can unintentionally lose this game.
I completely agree with that. There's like a 90-point advantage that they have, and it's definitely going to be a throw if they go ahead and lose this. But the possibility of even that happening is going to be quite low. As you said, luck needs to be involved, and also a lot of aggression in the very same game to turn things around. But talking about the game, we are about to jump into game number 4. So once again, Floki, first, your prediction.
Well, I'm going to stick with Tin Pro and number 6. I feel like if I get a little bit lucky, they're going to end up in that first place spot. So it's going to be my boys.
And now, Crips, over to you. What are your predictions?
I would have gone for the Vox Spice, but no. I mean, if Loki's saying that they're going to need luck, then I don't think that's possible. I mean, there's a player literally called Unlucky. So I really can't say much about that. So this time I'm going to go for a very safe bet, a very obvious one. I'm going to choose Mia's team, the ones at the top.
I mean, this time I'm going to go with Floki. I have a feeling in my gut that Tin Pro and number 6, maybe we're going to see them pop off in this very next match, get $1,000 for winning this game, and also secure a lot of kills. But who knows? I mean, we did talk about luck being involved in that scenario as well, if they want to take the first position away on the overall leaderboard. But apart from that, in the standings, we did see Moonscope in a position from where it looked like in the next 2 matches, if they bring in a lot of aggression, they might just be able to finish in the top 3 at the end of the day. Floki, what do you think?
I feel like Moon and his teammate, definitely they have a lot of potential to try and make it work. But then again, at the end of the day, you have to remember that when you are actually in that spot and you're trying to avoid those fights early on, it's not always possible. And I feel like a lot of Indian teams and a lot of Indian players have this bias towards taking fights early on. And I think that bias needs to go away if they want to stand a chance. I really like what the Japanese players do. It is aggression, but it is not aggression without purpose. It is always aggression that serves a higher objective, right? You take a fight, you do it quickly, you do it efficiently, or you get out of there. Hightail it. Make sure that you don't stick around for too long, because we saw what happens. I believe there was one particular match where Mortal and KGI were taking a fight early on, and then a lot of people ended up collapsing into that general area, and then it just got really, really messy going out from there. So I feel like, that discipline needs to be there when you're playing aggressively. Otherwise, just don't aggress at all. Avoid those fights. Take them towards the end instead.
I mean, that is an interesting thought. Crips, what are your views on this, like the early aggression that's being brought on the table by the Indian players?
I think it's actually going to help them out. Like, we saw a massive turn of the tables over here, especially with the early elimination of Vox in construction site. So that was unexpected. That was my prediction going out the window. For that matter, even Learn got taken down right at the beginning, right? So all these players who have a good chance of winning, if somebody else decides to just turn up the aggression, crank it all the way to the 100, and just go bomb rush them, I think that things could change. And I think I can say the same for Mia and Hete as well. All it takes is one very coordinated push from one team,
Yeah.
and that's going to be the top guys getting knocked down right at the start. Yeah, sure, they have a decent enough buffer, but if that happens again and again, then everyone in the server is going to be very happy, because with the top dogs out of the competition is wide open. Anyone's game for the taking.
Exactly, but right now I guess it's going to be an interesting situation for everyone to for the lads that are playing the game, the players. It is going to be really intense because just 2 matches to go. We have just 2 matches left, and to cover up a lead like that to close in on Mia and Heda, it is going to be an uphill battle. Also, talking about battles, our conversation. I personally love taking fights earlier on. It's super fun. Me and Cribs, we were just enjoying ourselves in Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale before the show started, and like I like to go for a hunt. It is much more fun to enjoy that way, and it is going to be interesting. But we did not have a lot on the line. It was just a fun match for us. For these players, there's $1,000 every single game, and also $30,000 for winning the tournament. There's a lot to lose. But let's see what is going to happen in the next match, as the game is just about to begin. And you know what that means? It's time for me to disappear once again.
Oh,
Go ahead, be the ninja that you were always meant to be.
absolutely. Well, he's gone now. Just leaves us two to tango. Let's see who actually ends up coming out on top. Mia and Hete is a fairly safe prediction, Trips. I gotta give you that, but I feel like for the next 2 games, they're gonna have a target on their back. And that's...
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I chose Tin Pro and number 6, because I feel like, the number 2 and the number 3 spot players are the ones who get the most out of everyone targeting the top dog, right? You want to try and take him down, you want to try and make sure that you prevent them from getting a lot of points, but you have something to say.
Yeah, the reason I chose them is because they have a target on their back. Keep in mind that they were only able to win 1 game. Everything else is because of their massive kill points, and if they've got a target on their back and everyone else starts to fight them, well, then their kill points are going to go up, and that just puts them at an even further advantage. Reverse psychology.
Fair enough, that is a fair thing to say, but I think that maybe they're gonna be in a hard spot, because they could have that unlucky drop where they go in, they don't really find the weapons, and some trigger happy players just come in and take him out very, very early on. With that said, the interesting drop coming out by Monk and Mafia in the middle of smack dab nowhere. As they make their way, but that looked familiar. We were
That's hijacked.
Yeah, we were in hijack for a small time there, but looks like Tien already gonna start things off by killing off Viper, I believe it was, leaving this Carnage by himself.
And that's exactly why I love the card. You just pick up the gun raw, without any ammunition, without any attachments. You don't even need a magazine to make it work. So that's how effective the card is early game.
Yeah.
Now, his teammate's been downed, but Carnage still lives. And he's just using the TPP angles to gather information on his enemies. He has spotted out Tien, needs to find out where the other player is. And inside the train station, he's going to have to be really, really sneaky, because the footsteps are very distinct on the grass and in the train. So that's going to be a dead giveaway the moment Carnage takes a step.
Yeah. So, Carnage is just going to have to hold his breath for the time being and wait for that circle to show up. It's going to leave him in a bit of an awkward spot, but looks like he might just get lucky, because Tien and his teammate Hunt seem to be leaving the area, although, as I say that, Hunt was trying to just turn around still and make sure that if he spots anyone trying to make a move, he can't get them. Now, Carnage is going to hightail it and make a run for it, and I don't think he's been spotted just yet, so he's going to be fine. But the issue is, he's got no mobility abilities, right? He went for the defender class, and that kind of makes it hard for him to try and move around the map. So he's very reliant on finding some sort of a vehicle here. Even a bike will do at this point, but he does need a vehicle to get him out of the sticky situation. Hard to recall those dog tags too, because you look at Tien and Hunt, they're always gatekeeping it, and Carnage, he has his eyes set on that, but Tien and Hunt, they both know that he is going to make a move yet, because they're all alone, and because the first circle hasn't yet started shrinking, and also because train station is close to the center of the map. they could theoretically stay here forever.
They could, but the first revival flight is already in the air, so Carnage won't be able to revive his teammate just yet. He's going to have to make sure he gets on the next flight. And for that, he needs to make a move for the dog tag. It's about to expire. They need to get it now. If Carnage is not able to get that dog tag, then his teammate can basically just say goodbye to this game. And you see, Tien is just not moving at all. He still wants to stay near that box. He knows that Carnage will make a move for the dog tag, and he's just trying to find him. And that's exactly why they're not leaving. They're just being very, very patient right here.
Yeah. Well, see if that patience is going to be rewarded or not. Because, well, it looks like Carnage is also going to be a little bit more patient. He hasn't been eliminated yet. Elsewhere, Mortal and KGI just having a gala time, moving around, looting, and getting themselves upgrades on the upgrade station. Getting their abilities up and running. And, yeah, I wonder if they've switched their abilities up. I believe for the way they like to play, a cluster smoke bomb would not be too bad. You could have one player pick up the Trickster or the Poltergeist just to, confuse them even further. And I think that could make a pretty deadly combination. But, hey, there's always the tried and tested Medic and Defender and the Ninja and Defender if you don't really feel like taking a lot of risks. Omosata, he spots out McQueen. He's trying to take out that Jeep, but at that distance, it is kind of hard to land those shots and clean that vehicle up.
Well, it's better to clean the vehicle up rather than having your body parts being cleaned up later on. You don't want to get slaughtered like that. Liar. Now, this guy is also one very, very cool player. His teammates Mia and Hate are already on a roll, and Liar's been like, why can't I do the same? Meanwhile, as soon as I say that, we have Mortal and KGI once again ready to tango. And this is in a similar spot where they were fighting the previous time. They see Hamster. Can they fire at him? Yes, they can, but they choose not to. They decide to move into the zone first. There should be a vehicle nearby. And even if there isn't, they should be able to tank the zone damage at least for now. First zone just barely tickles. And you've got the Speedster bike now. So you will basically be, super, super fast. Nobody will be able to shoot you down. Although, if you do crash, you lose quite a lot of health. So that's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be a good driver. You can't just be a messy one at that. And, okay, I'm not too sure what Learn is up to, but he's got the AK-47 and I'm watching it. In fact, he's gonna be able to find a kill. Thug gets taken out. Wait, Thug and Learn both team up to take out two players. I'm not too sure who they were. I believe, though, they might have been Doku, Kino, and Lalano Kyoko, although I could be wrong.
Yeah, but either way, 8-Bit Thug and Learn, this is a good start for them. Considering they got eliminated very early on last time, this is definitely much better. But take a look at where the next circle moves. It's going smack towards Fracking Tower, Houseboat, and Rivertown. I think it's probably going to end up somewhere in between all three of these islands. But a three-way battle now brewing in between Vox and Baco. This could be interesting. Baco instantly, his armor gets decimated. Pancho, he's trying to go around the other side. He's able to get one knock, but Avocado knocks out Unlucky, so it's ball down to a 1v1. And while all of this is happening, the other team that was trying to third party will be very happy with the result of all this. They haven't made a move just yet, but Avocado, he's able to get inside the helicopter, should be able to run away from this area. But Vox, unfortunately, will be left all by himself. Now, luckily with Avocado falling back, he can recover the dog tag of his teammate, but will he be able to get him on the revival? I don't think so. They're circling above him. And there you go, the lobby leaders in the car, being chased by Avocado and Co. This could be very, very interesting if they decide to land in front of them and decide to challenge them.
Yep, this could start to get a little bit problematic for the time being, but it looks like Hate... Oh no, Learn is actually closing in on them, but can't do all that much. Looks like Hate and are going to be able to clean him up. Fortunately, Thug could not save him in time as Learn was limping. Good attempt by them, but in the end, Mia and Hate just a cut above, it seems, as you just turn around and slap Learn in the face.
Exactly, and you don't even get a chance to retaliate. And they were not the only ones over there. There was a helicopter above them. Thug was in position to cover Learn, but he just could not do anything.
Yeah.
Monk now, well-timed defender deployment. He does flash his enemy, but Hamster is still able to make this one work, and Monk is out of the game.
Yeah, unfortunate for them as he did get swarmed by a player, and what he might have even thought were 3 players, because I believe there was a trickster used in the midst there. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to... wait, no, actually Monk has been eliminated, right? I think his teammate also got taken out. The Mafia was also gone. So, yeah, looks like it's going to be the end for them. I think Moon is still alive and in the mix. I'm just going to check that real quick. And I actually don't see them. Moon could have also... oh, no, I see one player from that number 10 team. So they are still in the mix over here. But for the time being, Mortal all by himself hasn't been able to recover KGIYT's dog tag, has he?
Nah, he's not. Just got eliminated, and Mortal needs to make a move right now. But with TinPro so close to him, I don't think it's going to be that easy. And the dog tag is also very far away, so Mortal needs to leave this house, go towards his south, and then he's going to have to avoid TinPro somehow and make his way above the hill. The moment he starts to move, he's going to use his Poltergeist. Now, that's pretty creative. With the Poltergeist equipped, TinPro won't be able to see him, and the dog tag has been recovered. All Mortal needs to do is just stay alive for the next 40 seconds, and KGI will be back down on the ground.
Absolutely, and his Poltergeist is going to come back up fairly quickly as well, because he did upgrade it at the upgrade station. So, if he just is able to stay put for a couple of seconds, he could actually get out scot-free. Now, Rebel and Moon are still alive. They're keeping the Indian Dream alive with them, but things are about to get heated up because I see Haiti and Mia making their way towards them, and look at them lobbing grenades in there already. And, yeah, that smoke, it is going to prompt them to sort of just move the heck out and try and make their way back towards safety. As you can see, Moon in the driver's seat, just trying to scout around and see if he can spot any of those players and run them over. Rebel going out of the car to fire a couple of shots, but can't do all that much. Moon actually is going to ditch the car and hide behind the rock. Going to try and gatekeep Snacks in Vegas instead. This could be interesting. Wait, no, they actually can't gatekeep them. It's actually Vegas and Snacks are on the inside. But no, wait, they actually can, because there's no exit for them. They're kind of stuck here.
Yeah, and Vegas is going to have to get really creative to get out of this mess. Either way, they can still take their sweet time. The zone isn't anywhere close to closing right now, so they can go ahead and chill out for a bit and maybe take it a little slowly. Elsewhere on the map, though, we have a nice little brawl over here. But oh my god, what did I just see? Haiti with a hot potato is able to knock out Carly and IQ with a single grenade. Wow. Instant squad wipe.
Yeah, I mean, Carly has been having a rough time, just every single time I've seen that name, it's always on the other end of those weapons or those grenades. And yeah, Mia and Haiti, they are not looking to relinquish that first place spot, although it does seem like team number 17 are going to find themselves a couple of kills here. It's going to be Hii-san, who ends up getting one for himself. Fortunately, his partner Avocado was nowhere near, was enough to be found. But Mia and Haiti now going up against Tien and Hunt. This could get interesting. You've seen this one play out before, and I don't think it ends well for them. Grenades being lobbed in their general direction, being cooked really well too, just not giving them a lot of room to work with. And Mia's gonna make his move as a result. Gonna go in and get a double kill. Oh my god, Tien, as well as Hunt, just end up biting the dust instantly. Great bait and switch coming in there. The grenades to keep them busy and to keep them moving, and Mia capitalizing on that with that SMG at close range. I mean, just a masterclass on how to play these sorts of 2v2 situations really well.
Yeah, another masterclass could be right here, as Soul Aman and Soul Mummy very close to each other. They are friends in real life, but for now they're rivals, and they should be able to know how each other think. Either way, their teammates Neutrino and Finesse have taken up positions right across the house. There are a couple of other teams on top of the hill, but they don't have too much opportunity of third parties. Meanwhile, Mia just continues to go ahead and mow down everyone that he sees. Even though he does get knocked out, Hate is able to immediately trade and should be able to go ahead and revive him back with the smokes equipped. Oh, this is just a dominating affair from both these players right now, as nothing can seem to stop them.
Absolutely, and because they've killed so many players, they're going to get all their HP back too. All those armor plates, they're going to be available for them. They're going to place them in. And they're going to be good to go. As, oh my god, okay, never mind, those are K9 units being taken out here. I was, just surprised to see the CS tag there for a second, but hey, look at that! The Vox boys still alive and kicking as they take out Rebel and Moon. Sort of destroying the Indian dream. And now it's down to Neutrino and Mavi to make things happen, and even they're gonna be under attack. Abu and Mercy gonna make them move, but Abu does not spot out one player. He's gonna go in all by himself. Neutrino's all alone. He's gonna get taken out. His teammates nowhere to be found. And Mavi also gets cleaned up by surprise. Abu just there, completely slaughtering them in a 1v2 situation. But now the Noah gas grenade is actually taking him down. Mia, sensing blood in the water like a shark, is going to move forward to try and get those kills for himself. And you can see the smoke, it is protecting Abu for the time being, but Mia still looking to go forward. He can't see anything, but he's still making a play. Abu might just be able to flank them. Hate, I do believe he spotted out Abu, and Abu's going to have to get the hell out of here. He gets in the car. He's going to try to move away. Elsewhere, Finesse, he's going to try and take that fight, but no, Hate is going to find Abu in the end and clean him up. And now Mia and Hate, once again, they're smelling blood in the water. They're gonna get Solar Mana as well. These guys are absolutely insane. The Japanese players just completely wiping the floor with everyone else.
How on earth did Aman die right there? He was not even supposed to be visible, but at least Aman's teammate survives. Hate and Mia, they find other targets. So at this point, Aman's teammates should be able to recover the dog tag. But no, it's no point. The last survival flight is already out, so no more revives possible right now. Meanwhile, Ratme, he's just circling around his opponents with that car. He's basically playing Tokyo Drift. Hate does get downed, but I do believe Hate was a little lagged out. He was still inside the car, not moving at all. And Mia now has to clutch out this 1 versus 2. I don't think they've spotted out Mia. Ratme just moving around with the car, trying to find out where the other player is. And I think he should be able to throw down at least a smoke grenade to make sure that his teammate Hate doesn't get completely finished off. Defender should be equipped as well, but now they move inside the smoke. Mia can't see through it. No, he cannot. He doesn't have the smoke cluster equipped. He's only got a ninja, which means he has zero visibility inside these smoke grenades, while the other team might just have it a little bit, but they give up on it. That's great. At least these guys are able to keep both their teammates alive. They should be able to heal up and get back into the fight, but another team is starting to approach them. It's Mitchell and Butter, and they are on the verge of parking their cars right in their faces. No! Hamster's able to get one too, but this fight is dragging on for too long. Defender, equipped, flashbang did not really work. His Butter had covered off the vehicle. Nate's being cooked, but at this point, they don't just have to worry about Mia and Hate. Even Hamster on the other side could come in and ruin the day for them.
Yep. Vox as well, working around those K9 units, just managing to stay alive here for the time being, as I believe a supply drop is also going to be thrown in the mix over here. This is going to make things really, really interesting. Are they going to go for it? Hate and Mia still standing strong, but they are proceeding towards the next circle. Instead, Mia, look at that scope. Able to help him get all those spot shots in, and now gonna zoom around the rock and try to finish up what he started. Vox players still standing strong, the Crips. Unlucky and Ponta trying to flank and make something happen, but they're all by themselves. Team number 29, Tanaka 19, and Mr. Duck. Although Mr. Duck has been eliminated, Tanaka is still keeping the dream alive.
Yeah, but keep this in mind. Hamster and Justine, they're on the smack opposite end of the circle. On the other hand, we do have Vox players who were inside the circle and they had a decent amount of advantage, but now Unlucky and Mia pushed them to oblivion. That's it. Team Vox is out of the game. And Mia has taken the best position in the circle right now. If he's able to stay alive over here, he will by default win the game. It's going to be very difficult to uproot them from this position.
Tanaka actually managed to snag that kill away from them. While they were too busy shooting, he was the one who ended up landing the killing blow, and as a result, he got the credit for the kill. A little bit cheeky there, but Ate is going to be able to find another kill. And now Finesse all by his lonesome. Nice defender coming in, but still Hate is going to be able to find that kill. This man does not even need eyes to shoot.
Oh, he does not indeed, especially when he's got that smoke cluster equipped. He can see everything. But just Steve, he wins that duel against Snacks. And now we are down to the last 6 players. 4 teams alive, which means some of them are one-man squads. And Mia blows up Hamster and Just Steve in a single swoop. How on earth does he keep on doing this? They were using the vehicle as cover, but when the vehicle blows up, so do you. And it looks like these guys are on the verge of winning once again. A 2v1v1. And Team CS, they are on the verge of taking yet another victory. Vegas just hiding, biding his time, preying on a mistake, waiting on them to break. And he's at least able to get second position because they've spotted out the player of team number 29. And this should be the first guy to fall. But no, it's Vegas who reveals his position. And at this point, there's no way that Team CS lose this battle. Oh, all the damage was dealt by Vegas, but the kills was taken up by Hate, and they now surround him from both sides of the hill. He's trapped, cornered like a rat, and that is it.
Man.
Finally, my prediction comes true, but hey, at this point, with these guys winning yet another game with so many kills, do you think they might just reach the 300-point mark?
I think they already have they not? They got so many kills in this game, and on top of that, they end up in first place. So surely they must be over the 300-point mark. Look at that! 18 kills! I mean, the last time they had 16. This time they have 18. My goodness, I have to say, you know, these Mia and Hate, these two guys are absolutely insane. I mean, the Vox players are also looking good, and somewhere in there, Vegas also managed to sneak into the top 3 placement. But yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to get to the top 10 anytime soon.
And I agree with that. And also, it's an interesting fact in this game that we saw Hate for the first time popping off, rescuing Mia multiple times, getting him out of uneasy situations, and also securing those 10 kills for himself. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be there when we talk about the top 5 featured players, but we're going to have a look at that in a bit. For now, incredible performance, but as during the game, I mean, Floki, you mentioned it, Moonscope and his teammate Rebel, those are the lads we were expecting might be able to do something well for themselves in this game, but they were also taken care of quite early on, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, it just once again comes down to I don't even know what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It just feels like the Japanese players are better in every single aspect, and I want to have a look at that again. I want to see what they're doing that's catching all these teams off guard, right? Because I mean, they're playing so aggressively every single time.
Exactly, and well, for that we have the match highlights. It was an interesting matchup, but again, majority of the time it was Mia and Hate just running around, as Floki said. It is just them dominating everyone else inside this lobby right now.
Absolutely. I feel like the biggest thing, Trips, I mean, maybe I think you can second me on this, or maybe you have a different opinion. I feel like they're not hesitant at all to take fights. As soon as they have information, they just wait for one opportunity, they create it, and then they go in.
Exactly, and they're also very good at isolating these gunfights. Like, there were several instances where they tried to third-party on another fight, but they themselves never get third-partied. Now, that's very weird, considering the circle is so small and there's so many teams around them. Just stealing frags should be rampant, but it just does not happen against them. And every time someone tries to use a trick against them, they turn it around. Like this time, they had that vehicle blow up, and that's how they were able to get rid of just Steve and Hamster. Of course, Vegas kind of ended up giving away his own position when he started to fire, but hey, at least he's able to get into second place, so that's better than nothing.
Exactly, getting those placement points was so important, and maybe it is going to give them a boost on the overall rankings. But I believe, Crips, what you were saying, it's just the fact that Mia and Hate, when they find someone, they see someone, spot someone out, their intent is clear. They want to go and they want to finish the fight. As Floki was pointing out, you have to finish the fight as quickly as possible, and that is what this team is doing. They don't like to be in those extended fight situations. Over there, when that scenario actually did come around in this game where they were forced to take on multiple teams at the same time, we did see them struggle a little bit, but then Hate was there to help his team recover. But what is the lead, the advantage going to look like after this match is done? Because the team already had a 90-point lead, if I'm not wrong, in terms of the overall rankings, and it is definitely going to be a challenge to the other teams to see if they can beat them. Also, $1,000 for this win as well. This is the second victory in the day. $2,000 already secured in the bag. So it is going to be super exciting. But Crips, how happy are you that the prediction that you made, it worked out so nicely?
Finally. Actually, no, wait, I don't feel any joy. This was kind of expected, and I went for the easiest pick, so no credit to me over here, but a lot of props to Mia and Haite. I mean, sure, they have the $2,000 winning bonus, but with this win, I'm very weak at math, but at least I can say that they must have definitely crossed the 300-point marker, and you add 2 more digits to it, that becomes $30,000, and they're most likely to win it.
I believe so, because, I mean, after this one, it is going to be a massive lead they have. I mean, you were hyped up when they got 120 points from a single game, and I believe in this one, they were able to secure, well, quite a lot of points just from the kill itself. It's really hard for me to calculate, but it is going to be interesting to see exactly what the teams are doing, and players as well, because in a few seconds, in fact, right about now, we're going to have a look at the top 5 featured players, and Mia and Haite are going to be there, but who are going to be joining them?
It's going to be the Vox player. It's going to be Ponta in that 3rd place, followed by Hamster and Abu. But you were asking how many points they've scored.
Yeah.
Let me just, not leave any surprises there. 130.
Wow.
First place finish. They get 40 points for that. 18 kills, 5 points per kill. That's 90. Add it up, you get 130. And look at that. I mean, this looks like overall standings to me. More than...
Yeah.
I know, right? And with 130, they haven't just crossed the 300-point mark. They've crossed the 350-point mark.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is just domination taken to a whole another level. But as we were talking about the Indian lads as well, we do have Abu and Mercy who did manage to secure a lot of kills. Abu doing a phenomenal job. I mean, we saw him in a 1v2 and he was able to clutch the entire fight out for his team. But then he got sandwiched. He had a team in the back, so he couldn't escape from there. And Mia and Haite just charged towards his building. So it was a tricky situation, but hey, he got the kills. 34 points have been secured by Abu and Mercy from this matchup. Let's have a look at the overall standings, since we did talk about the overall standings when we looked at the 130-point marker. And yes, 353, and Vox and Ponta and Unlucky are the second with 174.
Okay, let's theorycraft over here.
Yeah.
Let's say Vox get 48 kills, right? That's the maximum possible kills you can get. They get 96 points off of that, and they end up in first place. They get 130. Is that enough? It is still not enough to take that first place finish.
Yeah.
My God. I mean, at this point, you might as well just give Mia and Haite the first place. I think at this point, it's more about who's going to come second and third. I think that's where the real battle is going to be. I think that's where we're going to make those real predictions. So I'm going to throw a bit of a wrench in here, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Let's forget about the first place, because we already know who the first place winner is going to be. Who is going to be that second place winner? Because I feel Tin Pro and IQ and Kali are creeping up on Vox. And Vox, we saw them make a mistake in that 3rd match where they got eliminated early on. Do you think they're going to make that same mistake again? And are we going to see them remain in that top 2 spot, or do you think they're going to be moving down the notch?
Crips, I want you to take this one first.
Interesting. And I don't know why you want me to take this one. I've been supporting the Vox players for the last few games. But yeah, Floki's right. They did make a couple of mistakes. They were eliminated very early on. So Tin Pro and number 6, while they are the more consistent players over here, they have a better chance of winning this game. The only way Vox can keep up their lead is if they are able to get a lot more kills this time around.
Yeah. I mean, they are already doing better than Tin Pro, the team sitting on the 3rd position. We do have a comparison in front of us right now. Total kills 22 to 14 wins. No wins for the Vox Gang versus Tin Pro and number 6, actually securing a really nice game for themselves and $1,000. Top 3 finishes, well, again, 0 to 1. And kills per game, I believe this is what it comes down to. How many kills you're securing, because 5 points per kill, that is a nasty advantage that you can build up for yourself within a game itself. So if Tin Pro, first of all, as we did talk about luck in the previous game as well, Tin Pro and number 6, they're going to have to be lucky that Vox get eliminated early on and aren't able to secure even a single kill in this match. So they basically have to go out on 0, and then Tin Pro and number 6, if they go on to secure, let's say, 7 to 8 kills and get a top 3 finish again, I believe that should be That should be all they need to come up to the second position. It is definitely going to be a challenge, but hey, in these clutch moments, anything is possible. Plus, also, if they manage to get the win, $1,000 are coming their way. So it is going to make them super happy. But yeah, as we said, it is going to be a challenge. But for now, before we jump into the last game of the day, we're going to take a very short break, ladies and gentlemen. So just stay tuned, keep watching. We'll be right back after this.
Hey guys, I'm Arman Durni. I go by the name Moonscope. I'm a professional CODM player for Team Vitality. Activision has given us some questions regarding the new Blackout map, and here's what I feel about them. The questions are, what's your preferred loadout? My preferred loadout will be the AK-47 with the OWC Marksman barrel, MIP Strike stock, OWC Laser Tactical, large extended mag B, and the Ranger foregrip as the attachments. The next question is, describe the Blackout map in one word. Insane. Just insane. The next question, if you had to pair for duels with a famous personality, dead or alive, who would it be? There are many famous personalities, but I would prefer going for Mortal or Mavi. The next question is, what is the best drop location in Blackout according to you, and why? I would go for Nuketown Island because I always find my preferred guns over there and my loadouts. The next question is, if you could own one location building in Blackout, what would it be? If I would own one, I would go for the construction site because I can see everyone from there, as it's very tall. The last question is, according to you, which is the most underrated and overrated weapon in Call of Duty Mobile Blackout map? The most underrated, I see it has to be the MSMC, and the most overrated should be the AK-117. And that's about it. We are done with the Q&A.
Hi, my name is Finesh RK, and let's get into the questions. What's your preferred loadout? So for me, my preferred loadout is the AK-47 along with the OWC Ranger barrel, the classic red dot, the MIB strike stock, the granulated grip tape, and the large extended mag B. Describe the Blackout map in one word. I'd say it's a very action-packed map. If you had to pair for duos with a famous personality, who would it be? So I'm a big football fan, so I'll go with Lionel Messi. Which is the best drop location in Blackout according to you, and why? So I think the best drop location in Blackout is the firing range. As it's in the center of the map, there'll be a lot of people dropping here and you'll get a lot of kills really early in the game. If you could own one location building in Blackout, what would it be? I'd go with Hijack, as it reminds me of the OG Season 1 days. According to you, which is the most underrated and overrated weapon? As for the underrated weapon, I'll go with the AKS or RUS 7490. And you can say that overrated and overused go together as seasons and metas change. So I'll go with the MX9 as the most overrated weapon.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale World Invitational Asia Pacific. This is Super Johnny, joined by Crips and Floki. No, Crips and Floki. But it is quite an exciting day that we have had so far, and the excitement is, well, it's not going to end just yet. We still have one more match to go. The last game of the day. Crips, what is the difference between the first and the second? How much is it?
More than 100 for sure. My maths might not be the best, but enough to crown them the champions already.
Enough for us to not even touch the first place. Let's just talk about the second, third, and fourth place.
Exactly.
And
That's what we are going to be making predictions on right now. So who do you think is going to be second by the end of the day? This is for the overall, by the way, I'm asking.
Overall, I'm gonna stick with my boys. Tin Pro and number 6. I feel like they've been super solid throughout. They don't get the highest number of kills, but the placement's always good. They take the right fights. If they get a little bit lucky, they can hold on to that second place spot.
What about you, Crips?
Okay. I think Vox should be able to hold their ground. All they need to do is not make mistakes, not play very sweatily, and they should be fine.
I mean, that's going to be really interesting to see if 10 Pro and number 6 actually take this. It means we're going to have a fun game. I mean, we're going to have a fun game nonetheless, but I want 10 Pro and number 6 to finish on the second because it is going to be super exciting to watch how they make it happen. So that's going to be my prediction for this match going into the last game. But do you think in this last game, as Floki, you mentioned this, like we saw the lads from Vox make a mistake earlier on in our day. Do you think it's going to happen in this game as well? Is there a possibility?
It's game 5. The pressure is high. So, this is really what makes or breaks a player. In my opinion, I feel like Vox, they're going to be a little bit more composed, so I don't think they're going to make those same mistakes again. Which is what's going to make the game.
Let's see what's going to happen, because the match is just about to go live, and that means that's my cue to leave you guys alone.
We've been saying that Johnny turns into a ninja when he disappears, but honestly, the right thing would be he turns into a poltergeist now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Or maybe he uses tricks to, maybe he's just been using his illusions to do all the work for him this entire time, and we just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he could be right with us, right beside us, or maybe even behind us, and we would never know.
Absolutely. You never know.
I mean, he pretends to disappear, but he's always right around the corner. He's just lurking around.
How is that possible? It is not. Maybe the real Johnny somewhere is relaxing on a beach in the Bahamas, or maybe on Nuketown Island.
Yeah. It's been surprisingly uncontested now, has it?
Yeah.
I really wanted to see some Nuketown fights, maybe even hijacked fights, but we didn't see any of that.
Yeah, no, I just don't think a lot of players are going to go towards Hijacked. It's just one of those areas that is far off on the map. But the good thing about Hijacked is that because it is so isolated, the team that does go up there walks out with a ton of loot, right? You get yourself a lot of armor plates, you get yourself all the weapons in the world to work with. So, you leave quite happy and satisfied and satiated. Much like after you visit your grandmother's house on a vacation. You leave not only slightly richer, but also a little bit fatter. And what better combination could you ask for? For the time being, I see Momo, Sata, and Laya together around the dockyard. Let's see if they can actually make something happen. As it's gonna be Sol Aman along with his teammate Finesse. So we're here to try and contest Momo, Sata, and his teammate. Let's see if that actually ends up happening. So far, though, it seems that they've been avoiding each other, and for good reason too. There's no real reason to engage in this fight early on unless you have a clear advantage.
Yeah, but speaking of advantages, Aman's team can actually just take a dip into the water, take a boat, and get out of here. Meanwhile, Scars is able to finish off Beg for Mercy. That's a very good start. And with that, TN has his first kill. Now, they just need to find the other guy. Where is he? They don't find the other teammate of Beg for Mercy anywhere close, so unfortunately, they're going to have to wait a little bit before they can secure the second kill. But for now, they will be very happy that they're able to draw first blood.
Absolutely. I mean, they don't even have to stay around and gatekeep the second kill, right? Because it is in such an awkward spot, they can just leave and be very happy with the fact that, they were able to get them out of that position. Oh my god, Finesse actually shooting down that helicopter, dealing a fair bit of damage over to Lion, and RPD available on Aman, looking to rain hellfire from above. The only issue is that at this distance, he needs a scope, and he doesn't have one. He's going to have to use the iron sights to make it work.
Yeah, but the helicopter is big enough to be shot down without any scopes. Yeah, shooting down the opponents, though, could be a little bit of a challenge. But luckily, Finesse has the sniper, so he can take a couple of pot shots. Won't be landing any of them, but at least he's driven them away. Although, that really depends on what you want to do, right? If the objective is to drive them away, then he's doing a pretty good job. But if the objective is to kill them, well, then he probably needs to get a little bit closer and fight them head-to-head.
Absolutely. And yeah, getting closer is a big gamble in this game, right? Because many a times you give away your footsteps, you actually end up setting up your opponent to peek you. They hear the footsteps coming, they're like, okay, you're probably going to be sprinting, you're not going to expect me to jump peek around this corner. Bam, the shotgun goes in your face and you're down. That's what we've been seeing happen a couple of times over here. That's why we see those occasional double kills, right? You really shouldn't be seeing those. It's just... the member knowing that, okay, he's going to be coming around the corner, so I'm ready for it. I'm just going to peek and get myself the kill. As Moon is going to hop onto a bike and see if he can recover Rebel's dog tag over here before a slight collision into the wall. Clearly, he doesn't have his driving license just yet. So, yeah, just to be careful when you sit behind him on a double. It could end up tragically.
He is the Prince of the Moon. He can basically go from Earth to... No, wait. I don't know exactly how much time sunlight takes to travel to the moon.
It takes,
a little less than 7 minutes, maybe?
And
it takes 7 minutes to Earth, so I don't know how much it takes to the moon. But yeah, he's a celestial body. He doesn't need to know how to drive a bike.
Yeah, I guess he can just move the tides around and, cause a flood somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, just do
cause the players in cargo docks to move away.
Yeah, cause some environmental damage, get some environmental kills. Please make that a thing. Based on your name, you get powers. And, well, looks like the only power Moon needs right now is to disappear. And he's gonna do exactly that with that smoke cluster bomb. Gonna keep himself alive for the time being.
It's not gonna help him.
Back.
Tinpro also has the smoke ability equipped, so he can see through this. Plus, his teammate is going around the other side to just corner Moon into a little spot, and Moon has been able to get away from them for now, but he will never have the time to shield back up. He probably needs another vehicle to get away from this one, but I don't think he's going to be able to find one in the sand dunes. I think he's just going to be out in the open, and Tinpro, probably following him to the ends of the earth, should be able to shoot him down. Unless Moon pulls off a little Houdini.
Oh, no, he has been spotted, but the shot's not connecting. Moon is actually going to be able to juke and jive and stay alive for the time being. Elsewhere on the map, while we were busy with this, I did see Mia and Haiti on the scoreboard already getting themselves a kill and eliminating McQueen and Jan right off the bat, but oh no, Moon is going to be ran over here by the car, but he's still staying alive. Not for long though. Tinpro with the MX-9 is going to clean him up and loot his corpse dry. As we see Haiti and Mia actually making their way towards the supply drop, looking for that third win, that extra $1,000 scripts. These guys are going to be walking home a lot richer by the end of the day. Elsewhere on the map though, KGY, they're going to be able to take out a couple of players. I believe I saw Learn and Mortal get taken out. And guess what? Targus also bit the dust. That's another team being eliminated right off the bat.
Yeah, Mortal did die, but KGI was able to get the trade onto him.
No.
At least he's able to get 2 kills before he finally hits the dust, and Mia is the one who gobbles up the frags.
Oh boy, this is turning into a bit of a slaughterfest here for these guys. They're just so trigger happy every single time, just chasing their opponents down and shooting them square in the head. I mean, it's like the Joker and Harley Quinn, a perfect deal for each other, complete psychopaths, but they managed to make it work.
Yeah, and they pester Batman like anything.
Absolutely.
Batman over here being absolutely everyone else, and they basically rule Gotham City, except they rule Blackout instead. But hey, they'll be ruling the world once they win this championship. Viper trying to keep himself hidden. Carnage not close to him, but just a little behind him. Either way, both of them have not been detected just yet. They're just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. And it seems like the jig is up. They reveal their positions. They start firing. Helter-skelter. No shots connected, so at least they're safe for now. But elsewhere, we have Lyre going up against Bako. And their teammates are not anywhere close to each other. So it's a 1v1 between Bako and Lyre.
Yeah, and Laya looks like might just be coming out on top. He's going to be able to get that kill instantly, as another team has been eliminated. Lots of early action this time around, Crips. Not something I was expecting to see, but already 9 players have been eliminated off of the server. And with that, another team is going to bite the dust. Mitchell and Butter, they're going to be taken out by Hamster and his buddy. Now, Momosata looking for that final kill on Ringo, Bako's only teammate. But looks like they're instead going to make their way out of that place, although Ringo doesn't know that just yet, so he's just going to be hiding behind this rock for a long time, trying to stay alive. Has the defender ability available, but he needs information, and he has none of it.
For the first time, we have seen the circle move in this direction. Turbine has almost always been out, and it's been neglected, but finally, maybe it's going to get a little bit of love. Although there's only a tiny bit of Turbine that's inside the circle, that should be fine. Over here, we can see team number 17 trying to gatekeep 29, but they just run right past them. Finesse trying to cross the river in the water. He's going to be shot down, and he's going to drown to his death. Heyday with the second frag in a row. So that's a lot of frags going in the favor of Team CS right now. It seems like they just don't care. They have so many frags, and they're just roaming around in vehicles, picking up frags here and there, all over the place.
Absolutely, and I mean, they're just finding all the frags in the world over here, while everyone else is just scrambling for scraps of bread, it seems. Marvi and Neutrino. Or is Neutrino even alive at this point? I don't even know. Could just be him by himself.
I think he might just be, but Block's guys are in a little bit of trouble. Avocado, he's at the bottom, his teammates at the top of the roof, and they should be able to see through the smoke, but unlucky. He's able to find Avocado, and he needs to make this one work. The Purifier not doing too well for this guy, but unlucky. He gets taken down. The clutch, it's not possible. Oh, that was so close. But they need to hurry up. They need to get into cover.
No.
Tinpro is right around the corner, and Tinpro will be the one to finish off Team Watts.
Yeah, Hige-san, he really tried to clutch that one out. He got one kill, but that's about all he got, and now Tinpro is going to make the most out of that cluster smoke, you know, get those armor plates running back up, get all the ammo back up as well, and yeah, this looks like Tinpro and number 6 are once again going to have a solid, consistent run going for themselves. But in the meantime, Momosata and Laya somehow making it work, trailing. No, never mind, that's not them. Number 25 is a different team. But yeah, they were also in all by themselves alone and had no one to work with. Team number 25, though, Saru, Kiva, and 10X. Still in the fray over here, and they're eyeing up Heyday and Mia.
Yeah, but they should be able to get a lot of armor overcharges with that airdrop. Should be healthy enough to take on Mia. But are they skilled enough to do that? They have the high ground. Mia has spotted them go up this building. Now, I believe one of them has Ninja equipped, right? So they should be able to grapple their way to the top. The other one probably has Defender. Or maybe a Smoke Cluster. They keep on changing it every game, so I can't even remember which class they have chosen for themselves. But I do remember that one of them does prefer mobility. Meanwhile, the chopper coming up from top should have been able to spot out 10X. Although, them not landing over here kind of indicates that this area is clear. And Heyday also keeping a low profile for now. Meanwhile, Mia continues to just run and slide across the road. Surprisingly, hasn't been spotted by any of them. Of course, why will he be spotted? The elephant in the room is going to be the helicopter hovering above, and everyone's going to be looking at that and nowhere else. Oh, and Mia uses the distraction to his advantage. He's able to get both of them. That's how you roll. The helicopter above keeps his keeps his enemies distracted. And now he blows up the chopper as well. Beg for mercy, dropping down to the ground, hoping that he won't go down immediately, but Abu has hit the dust. Can he survive this one? Beg for mercy, just juking and jiving, trying to hide over here, but he's been found. No, he hasn't. He makes his escape. That could be great, but I don't think he's going to be able to recover the dog tag of his teammate. Very well played by Mia over here. I love the way how these guys use the information bias against their opponents.
Yep.
Their opponents never had any idea that they were coming over here. They were just too busy looking at the helicopter, and they use that distraction to get the kill. And then even the helicopter goes down. So they use it and they kill it later on. Oh my god, the masters of manipulation.
Absolutely. Tien and Hunt still alive though over here. And now, looks like Tratme and his teammate might have something to say. That's Doku Kino and Lalano Kyoku, for those of you who are interested in knowing the real names, but yeah, for the time being, Tinpro just trying to gatekeep one single player who's in the water as of now, and that's, I believe that's Kyomo, who's still alive, but not for long. Lia's actually going to be able to take out P, and for the time being, Momosata and Lia continue their run. 13 teams remain over here, Crips. Only 22 players alive, and that means we are seeing at least 3 one-man squads here.
Oh, I think there's going to be more than that. Hamster just killed 1-2. Just Steve is still alive, so that's at least one two-man squad still rolling. But I don't think that's going to be the case any longer. I am very, very nervous over here for Team 16 as they're just zooming around this little cluster of compounds. Rockstrong has recovered the dog tag off Pyle, but I don't think he's going to be able to revive her. Momosata and CS Liar, they have his number and the nades are being tossed. It explodes just behind Rockstrong, so he survives this one, but he's taken a lot of armor damage. Momosata has been knocked, so now it's down to a 1v1. And Liar's looking for him upstairs. He's got it correct, and he's going to be able to finish him off. Really well played by Liar. No problems whatsoever as he can go ahead and revive Momosata.
Yeah, it's the only thing that he needs to take care of, because the circle is going to shrink now. He's going to reveal the next one where it is, but thankfully they're going to be able to heal up and get there in time. Elsewhere though, looks like real quickly, Hamster got taken out after he got a knock himself. Stian took care of him, and looks like both of them are going to be trading a player each, but they're still alive. Chistai is going to get his teammate back up, and Tian is also going to do the same. In the meantime though, look at Kali and IQ coming in. Oh, never mind, they have been spotted. Mia, as well as his teammate Hete, they know where they are. They're actually thinking about going in themselves. The Fennec at the ready. As they're trying to make their way in there. He is still standing strong. Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that there was a player next to the left of him, and Mia is actually going to miss that spray to start things off, but does manage to recover. Takes one down, but Hete has been knocked down too. And now the Poison Nova is going to be a little bit hard to deal with. Still alive though. IQ, he's hit the ground. Kali needs to revive him. Mia in a bit of an awkward spot, but not like this game really matters for them. They're going to continue to hold that first place spot. It's about the second place for now, and look at that, Just Time and Hamster coming in. The Trickster going a little bit crazy as the Psychosis just keeps running into a wall for the time being.
Yeah, not properly deployed with the direction over there, but Mia has heard the footsteps. The nade tossed properly should be able to flush them out, but nope. It actually just keeps them inside a little deeper in this warehouse. And he knows there's another team over here as well. So if Mia can manipulate the other two teams into fighting each other, this would be a big brain move.
Absolutely could be. Although it is going to be a little bit difficult for Mia to do that. But Mia is still going to be able to get a kill. Lia is going to be taken out. And Mia is still in the fight. And now Momosata has joined the fray as well. I mean, this is what we talk about. You know, you don't finish up your fights, it's going to start to get messy. Third, on fourth, on fifth, on sixth party action going on here. As pretty much every single team alive wants a piece of the pie. With only 15 players remaining and 9 teams still in the mix, we have lots of one-man squads.
Oh, lots and lots of them. That probably means that Mia has an even better chance of clutching, because if it's just 1v1s, he can definitely win them. Yeah, but if he gets traded, then probably he won't be able to win this game. Either way, all these two-man squads also now forced into the circle. Take a look at where the next zone is. It's smack near the water, and Monk and his teammate Mafia are in prime position to stop all of them from coming in. They all need to abandon their compounds and move into the open where there's absolutely no cover, so the defender class will be of big importance over here, but Beck for Mercy can't do anything. Viper finishes him off, and now we are down to the last 6 squads. This will be super, super sweaty. There's nobody in the zone. Everybody's stuck outside, and they all need to reposition. But who's going to make the first move?
That's the question. I mean, Monk and his teammate can just stay posted there. Mafia, they don't have to move at all, but they're making an aggressive maneuver here. Looking to take out Tien and Hunt. You can see Tien is still checking his flanks, even though the zone is out. The nice range. It's actually going to move forward over here. Monk is going to come in. But he's going to quickly go back out after he realizes that he's probably going to get double peaked as he moves back to his teammate. And TN, as well as Hunt, have lost some of their armor, but TN's going to be able to get some of it back up and running. While Monk, as well as Mafia, they're going to make their way inside the water elsewhere. Carnage, much like his name, just devastating every single player that stands in his path. Although for the time being, he needs to get his armor back. He's not any remaining. It seems that Hunt is also going to be able to find a kill elsewhere. Monk is going to be able to take out Carnage to start things off. He actually gets that kill through the wall with the AK-113. And now,
Nice.
Hamster in a 1v1 against Monk. 3 players still surviving for the time being. Make that 2 as Cars takes out Hamster. And now it's going to be a 2v1. Oh no, Monk. All vice goals. Would have really liked to have Mafia at this point. And look at that, TN. Just being able to capitalize on the situation. Tosses out a well-cooked Noah gas grenade, but Monk is sitting behind cover, so he is okay for the time being. He's gonna have to move eventually. Nice fake coming out from him. He actually might have baited them into thinking that he went somewhere to the left of the hill, and that's where they're checking. Monk might be able to isolate these fights one by one, but he's not gonna have a lot of time to make it work. No, TNA is gonna be able to best him at the end of the day, and Monk will be cleaned up. He will get second place, but I'm not sure how much of an impact that's gonna have on his rankings. As the first place, it is going to go to TN and Hunt Crips once again. As all
Exactly.
along, it was just the TN and the Mia and Hater show. This is insane.
Yeah, they're able to win the second game, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, they absolutely are.
So, yeah. There were 2 teams who were able to win 2 games each. One of them is in front of you right here. The other one was obviously Mia and Hete. Both of these teams were able to win 2 games each, but the difference in points between them is so huge.
Absolutely. I mean, at this point, I'm just curious to see who ends up in that second place. It's not even about the first place anymore, like we talked about earlier. And I'm really curious to see if, Monk actually managed to crack the top 15 at least after that last game place. And it will give him a good influx of points, around 30 to be precise. And they also found a couple of kills.
Exactly, and let's not forget, the higher you are in the overall standings, the better it's going to look for you in terms of the prize money distribution. Because as Floki, you said, I mean, the first position, Mia and Hete, they were sitting really far ahead of the competition, so they will be walking away with the lion's share of the prize money. But the other teams, they could have used this game to actually gain a little more money from this match. And yes, 2 teams walking away with $2,000 bonuses for getting those victories. And it was an incredible match, this one as well. I especially loved the move that was made by Neutrino and his teammate, just taking off in the helicopter and just roaming above the competition, just trying to see how long they can keep themselves safe. It was an interesting tactic, but Krebs, in the end, it did not really work out to the extent that they thought it would.
Yeah, it did not really work out as well as expected, but to be honest, it's completely fine. At least with this win, they should be able to climb up a couple of spots. We knew that the number 1 team is kind of unshakable, but with this win, they can at least get themselves into the top 3 and get a larger chunk of the prize pool. So that's something that they will be very, very happy with.
I completely agree with that. I mean, it was an incredible performance that they tried in this game as well, but it was the same people sort of that we have been talking about throughout the day. Mia and Hete that were there for the hunt as well, and this is the moment we were talking about. Even then, I believe, I mean, these lads did not give up. They tried their level best, especially Mercy. We saw him survive for quite a while before he was hunted out. So quite a valiant effort in certain clutch situations. But going over to the other side, talking about, close to the end of the game, Monk, he actually did a pretty nice job securing those extra kill points. So, Floki, do you think it is going to be enough? I mean, you've said like it is definitely going to be a question whether he will be getting a boost for his team in the overall standings, but do you think it was enough to at least get him quite close to increasing his prize pool?
I think it definitely did. I think it's going to move him up a few notches. He's definitely going to go from, I believe, he was sub 20 to now maybe being somewhere between 15 and 20.
Yeah.
Although I am more curious about that second place spot because it was being held by Tinpro and number 6, if I'm not wrong. Or was it the Wogs?
The
The
Vox
Vox
boys,
guys
yeah.
were number second place. Yeah.
Okay, the Wogs guys were in second place. Okay, I'm not too sure how this one plays out because Tinpro and his teammate did end up surviving for a long time. So
Yes.
I believe they can have a lot of placement points to work with. But who is actually in that second place? I guess we're going to have to wait to find out.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait to find that out. For now, we're going to have a look at the top 5 featured players from this game, though. And again, I mean, Mia is always going to be part of this list with their teammate Hate. 5 kills, 4 kills to this team, total of 9. But Hamster is the one who was destroying everyone in this matchup. 7 kills secured. So
Even Lara stepped up.
yeah, exactly. Lyre also stepped up, 4 kills, 6 placement finish, but TN was doing something else. I mean, their team, it was quite interesting to see because a majority of the fights, they did try to keep their head down, just dishing out damage whenever possible, whenever TN and Hunt felt they were safe, but it was towards the very end where we saw them part of the action. Would you agree, Floki?
Absolutely. I mean, I this is what I was talking about earlier. You know, you need to pick and choose your fights. You
Yeah.
can't win all your battles. That's why it makes sense to fight towards the end. That's exactly what TN did, and I think it paid off wonderfully for them.
Exactly.
On the other hand, you have the philosophy of players like Mia and Hate, who are like, doesn't matter, you know, just keep killing. Eventually, you're gonna get those placement points, and
Yeah.
kill points, and hey, if you get lucky, you end up in the first place. Otherwise, just be happy being in the top 10.
Exactly. And talking about points, let's have a look at the results of this game where TN and Hunt have actually managed to secure 70 points from this match. That is, I believe it should give them a decent boost, but the key people to notice, it is obviously going to be the players from Vox, Ponta and Unlucky, and of course Tinpro and number 6. So 46 for Tinpro and number 6, and Ponta and Unlucky getting themselves 25 points. Crips, what do you think? Is it enough?
I think it probably should be enough. I mean, there was a difference of 30-something points
Yeah.
in between their scores, and now Tinpro have like just a little about 20. So it's gonna be really, really close.
Yeah.
But I think Vox can still maintain their position. But
Well-
hey, let's not do theory crafting
Yes.
maths over here. Let's just look at the final scores.
Exactly. Let's just have the overall rankings in front of us and see which duo will be walking away with the $30,000 first prize money.
What
And
a
it is gonna be
surprise.
Me and Hate, yeah, 416. 416. And Vox and Porter on the second. Oh, it was so close. We were talking so much about Tinpro and number 6, but look at just Steven Hamster, just 3 points shy of the second.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So Tinpro, these guys not only don't finish in the top 3, they not only not take over Vox, but they actually fall down to the number 4th place. And just Steven Hamster overtake them.
Yeah. Man, that too by such a small margin. Tinpro and number 6 have got to be feeling a little bit bad about that. You know, they could have gotten a podium finish, but unfortunately, they're going to have to make do with 4th place for now. What
Exactly.
Tinpro and number 6 did really well, though, was just not taking unnecessary fights. And I think, you know, they're probably going to look back at this and realize that, okay, maybe we need to be a bit more aggressive if we want to end up in these podium slot finishes.
Yeah.
And they'd be right, because I feel like, you know, they definitely played it very, very safe and didn't take a lot of risks. And while it does get you to top 4, maybe you need to take a few more risks if you want to end up in the podium.
I mean, look at how well the aggression paid off in this match. 56 kills secured by Mia and Hate, and the next highest we have is 25 from Ponta and Lucky. So the more aggressive you are, the more fights you took, the more kills you were able to get for yourself, the better it was for you in this matchup. But let's have a look at the head-to-head of Mia and Hate going up against Ponta and Unlucky. And it is clear, it was that kill difference, kill per game difference that led to the overall point advantage, because 11.2 kills per game compared to 5. Now that is a difference. And Crips, what do you say? I mean, had we seen a lot more, a little bit more aggression from Ponta and Lucky, things could have been different.
I think the things would still be the same. Maybe the difference in points would be a lot greater. Because see, Mia and Hate, no matter who stands up against them, they were able to shoot them down.
Yeah.
Sure, Ponta and Unlucky were a little more calculative when it comes to picking up their fights, and they were not trying to just get third party. They were just trying to isolate these gunfights. But again, then you have teams like Mia and Hate who actually want to get third party.
Yeah.
They want to fight as many teams as possible, because there were some instances where they get the other teams to fight between each other and then they get out. So
mean-
that's like a little bit of manipulation.
Exactly, and even in those situations, their intent was clear. Their intention was never to survive to the end game stages. It was just to secure as many kills as possible as early on to take off the pressure of the late game scenarios where they felt a little bit more comfortable because you've done your job, you've secured those 20, 25 points already with those 5 kills that you've got. Now it's time to just slowly and steadily work towards the end game scenario. And it was an incredible day. Teams have done a phenomenal job. All these duos, an incredible performance. But with that, we do come to an end of our journey for the day, the Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale Worlds Invitational Asia Pacific. Thank you so much, Krips and Froki, for your time. It was incredible to work with you guys, and thank you to you guys for tuning in to this action. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye. We'll see you again on the other side.